When you leave the Goblin game,
All right.
the Gravy Train's second rate.
Hello. It is Wednesday, and we are the
texting him
Initiative
now.
Syndicate.
Yeah, we are.
We are. We play Dungeons and Dragons.
And
Yeah,
drink.
we do.
Sometimes we also do that. Yes.
No, we always.
Some of us do that better than others.
What?
He's not drinking.
I hope
tonight.
everybody is due. Can you get the?
Oh, right.
Please. No one wants to see the
Yeah.
ugliness
All
back
three of
there.
us are about to get up soon.
Normally we hide that. This is a behind the scenes thing, gang. Just pretend like
That you didn't
you
see
saw
that.
nothing.
Where the magic happens.
There's nothing back there.
This is where the magic happens. Anyway, we are going to recap what happened last session.
It's where we store the beholders.
Yes, that's where they're actually. What's funny about that is there's at least one beholder miniature back there
Oh
that,
god.
that he hasn't gotten around to painting yet. So it is. But anyway, we are going to recap last week's session. Then we're going to get right into today's new session. So events leading up to the illicit maze, the big competition within Ravnica that will either decide the fate and future of Ravnica or eliminate the guilds once and for all. The teams who were running decided to have a competition to determine captains. It was sort of an honorary, sort of fun, competitive thing that the other teams were doing in the hopes to maybe get some camaraderie and kind of unwind before the actual competition. As once the maze has started, there is no stopping until either you fail or you win. And it's an all or nothing thing. You have to succeed completely or not at all.
Or get white for instance.
No one actually knows what some of the challenges are going to be. They will be varied, they will be difficult, and they will usually have, the only clue that you guys have been given, some sort of lean towards the guilds and what they do.
Who's your daddy and what does he do?
So in the spirit of PvP competition, you all competed in a fun free-for-all last week, and I believe that it came down to the bard and the wizard, and the bard artificer said that he didn't really want to be the leader, and he sacrificed himself, and so by default, the only surviving member was Lizica, and he won.
Win by default.
It's still a win.
It's still a
win. So we are going to basically be picking up after the competition. You guys have exited the dimensional portal back out into the Trans Guild Promenade, and you have all been fully healed. All of your magical items have been returned to you. Your hit points are back to a normal hit point status as the effects of the potion wore off once you exited the portal. You also now leveled if you did not do that.
Get all my beautiful magic items back.
You're also probably,
22.
just for the record, you're going to
58.
probably be getting at least another long rest before then. So
Uh,
if you have things that you need to do or want to do today, don't worry about your spell slots. You're going to have the opportunity to get another long rest before you guys go into it. So Niv Mizzet greets you. As this was not a permanently damaging situation, you all look like you did when you entered. So, how did it go?
it's fine.
I see that Lizica won. And he kind of gives a little ponder, a little curious look. And then he looks over at Skriznet and you let him win.
I said from the beginning I didn't want to lead this pack. I just want to be a complimentary piece to this.
Like a cod piece, if you will.
Just cause this competition got a little hot under the collar for you. Don't burn yourself up that you didn't win.
Yeah, let's leave the trash talking in the arena.
Trying to be funny. God.
The point of the competition was to find your strengths and your weaknesses as individuals. as you will need to be one very cohesive unit if you want to succeed in the challenges that will be laid before you.
Well, we found the weakness of 2. Magic.
Yeah, my weakness is fireball and dragon breath.
Fireball. And
Good to know.
yeah, the cloud daggers.
Daggers was
Also allergic to knives.
a
Very
whole bunch
allergic
of
to magical
a hailstorm of them.
So I guess congratulations are in order, Lizica.
Thank you.
I award you with the champion's pendant.
Now, what did this do again?
I gotta look it up
That's fair
because it does some stuff. So it's not on D&D Beyond yet.
Yes, because I tried to look.
I will add it later, but in the
All good.
meantime, it does require attunement.
You're gonna give
Um,
up some, aren't you?
you have to be a
What?
humanoid.
Or
I
to
think
keep
all of
it?
you are humanoid. If it's around your neck and you are attuned, you gain +1 to your armor class. It will boost your reputation, and thus you will have advantage on all intimidation charisma rolls, all of them. And as a bonus action, once per day, the pendant itself can be used to summon the Hammer of Storms, or it actually says "and/or," meaning you could do both.
Oh my god.
The Aegis of Warding, as described in the Magic Item deck, which I did not bring
Oh.
the Magic Item deck.
Rip.
My bad.
It's all good. I don't even know if we. Oh wait, you had the Thunderhammer one at one point, so I know what that one was.
Yes.
It was like when you did a hit, it did like 2d8 extra.
But on
thunder
the plus
damage.
side,
But when it hit you, it hit like a
It
thunder
did.
wave.
It's like a 10-foot radius.
Yeah, it was
but
like a
then-
thunder
that's
strike
pretty
or
sick.
wave.
yeah, on the plus side, I have access to the PDF, and I can probably look at it right here. The
Nice.
cards. I'm assuming they were legendary.
I
Were
can't
they
remember.
legendary or just regular?
I think they were regular because I think the only legendary one we picked up was that elixir, right?
Yeah, we
That
picked it up
Quicksilver,
twice.
whatever. It
Okay,
was.
Aegis of Warding. I'm gonna actually take a picture of the card, and then I'll have it. Your armor class becomes 18, and you take damage. The armor casts a Thunder Wave spell.
Underwave.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And
Something
then
I
the
think I had it, but I never had a chance to use it.
Hammer of Storms. It's a +1 Warhammer. Deals an additional 1d4 lightning damage on the hit. Cool.
Huh.
It's not going to work like the item cards. I'm assuming it's going to work like an actual item.
Mhm.
So, I got pictures of them. We're good. Excellent.
Cool.
So you can decide what you want to do with that. That was more of a team thing than a individual thing.
For very close second runner up, I will let Skriznet decide who he thinks deserves this pendant. And that can include yourself as well. So who you choose.
So it gives you armor,
Armor.
Yeah,
the
permanent
Thunder-
armor class.
thunder
plus one.
wave.
It gives you the ability to summon that
Yeah.
Aegis or the hammer once per day.
And or. Which is cool.
Mm, I think you're the squishiest. I think you need to keep it for yourself. I think it'd be a nice little backup in case you're falling.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can do
The
that.
charisma thing, not worried
The
about it.
intimidation thing.
Not worried about it.
All right. Sure. I guess I will keep it. I think all three of us, or all four of us, are pretty much maxed out on attunement items, though.
Yes,
Right?
Yeah,
I'm
I
at
think
my third.
we were all before.
Well, I have an
I've given you
extra.
guys all enough attunement things. You guys have no more
Well,
attunements.
Well, we
We
bought
all have the
them. yeah.
pendant, so that's one. We all have like a weapon.
We all have a ring, yeah.
I'm a really nice DM.
Yeah,
You guys are welcome.
Um,
you're welcome for us kicking that your
Pendant, sword.
your creatures' asses.
You guys are really good at it.
What else do I have? Cloak.
I had to really up the level of difficulty and challenges, just so you know. I really hope that you don't die.
so it was like it was called Pet as a
I
Child.
hope they remembered you.
Smiling. It's all good.
Son of a bitch.
Anyway, so congratulations. I suggest taking the evening / rest of the day to rest, gather your thoughts, pick up any sort of supplies you think that you may need in the coming competition.
I think it's
And unless you have any other questions, I will see you for the opening ceremony.
And that's tomorrow.
Indeed.
All right. What time is that?
Bright and early in the morning, 8 a.m.
All right, right here or
It will be in the Transguild Promenade.
Transguild.
all right, sounds good.
off the critical pole. Oh, we haven't opened that place yet. Damn it!
We can go next door to Rocky's.
Yeah, we could open it during
What's
the
that
race.
place?
That's the bar. Remember
Oh,
we said it
yeah.
was called
Rockies.
Right.
I figured we just change the name to Hotspot.
Oh, yeah.
Hotspot?
Yeah, it'd be the Hotspot.
I don't get it.
Or we can call it the Melting Pot.
No, I don't like that. I don't like fondue.
I don't like burnt brisket either. You can't overcook briskets. It's just tough. And Squid starts walking towards the district where their bar is.
Okay. So you guys are heading to just the bar?
Well, do we have anything we need to do before the competition starts tomorrow? Do we have to buy anything else? See anyone else? Should we talk to Copernicus?
Copernicus.
Did you get
I'm
it?
sorry if that was loud. I
That was
got it
probably
now.
really loud.
It's right. I got
Good
it.
job.
I
Nice.
killed
So
that
proud of you.
bastard.
We're not
Was
upset
it
that you
Skeeter or
killed
Nat?
him.
No,
Nah.
it's a gnat.
It's a
Hey,
good
if there's a Skeeter
It's
on your
Nat.
Peter, knock it off.
It's a gnat
There's a
living
Skeeter
anymore.
on
Now
your
it's
Peter,
dead.
Dead.
Apologies.
I see what you did there.
Well, I have an extra cloak of protection, so that's kind of.
What's the maximum amount of cloaks of protection one can wear?
How many necks do you have?
What all do we need? I mean,
Can I polymorph
one,
into a
two.
demigorgon?
I can have
Request denied.
I can have the Simic put on another neck, probably.
Ooh, there you go.
There
There's
you
another
go.
Minotaur head.
Yeah. I don't want a head, just another neck.
More
like a little nub to hook it off
One
of.
neck. It's one neck stump.
Yeah, it's like, you know,
So,
it's like I had a amputation of the head. The neck is still there.
So to the bar, are you guys heading anywhere else? Is there any other supplies or things that you want to do? People you want to go talk to? This is going to kind of be like your last opportunity to clean up or do any weird little things that you want to do before you guys start the maze. You'll still have access to the city, but
Mhm.
you probably will not be able to focus on many other
Yeah,
things.
I mean, we're on a little bit of a time limit.
Right.
So-
Do you want to get your tusks put in at the
I don't even know if I've got the money to put that in. But you know what? I'm gonna hold off on that.
I got some gold coins that I can allocate to the party.
Where can we go to get that done? Like, how close is that to where we're at?
What, tusks?
Yes.
You don't even know if they do that.
Huh?
You're not even sure that they do that.
And they put a damn like
Shark and an octopus.
shark and octopus together. They gonna put a tusk in my mouth. We don't have an orthodontist on.
I'm just saying you don't know that they specialize in land animals.
Oh, land. Oh,
I think
gotcha.
that's, yeah, most of
Gotcha.
the stuff we've seen.
You
is
want
better.
walrus tusks? They could probably do that.
Ooh, there you
Well,
go.
that's a hot item.
I don't want them shit just hanging down here.
All
Damn,
the
well, you just
all the mutations have either been amphibious or aquatic animals that you guys have seen. Even the modifications that
That's
they made
true.
themselves.
I'll just be like, you have water pigs?
You just get them inverted. So
That's
just put 'em
there we go.
inverted walrus.
There we
tusks,
go.
And then maybe shave them off so they're not, you know.
Maybe I'll
love
tell
it.
them this is a walrus tusk, and they'll
And
put
then
them in.
they'll, yeah, trick
They
them.
can never know the
They'll
difference.
never know the
They'll
difference.
never know.
They'll never know.
They're not like biologists.
They're not scientists at all, or geneticists.
All
You
right,
know them.
I don't.
All right, off to the geneticist to get my tusk. put
Then
in.
you are going to want to go to. Let me look at my map here.
Was that near the library or something?
You are going to want to go
3 times a
to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 2 knuckle deep. Make sure.
Someone needs some preppy.
You're going to want to go to
Not
the,
anymore. I pushed that.
precinct 5, down into the Zonnet area.
How far are we from there?
Well, you were in the Transguild Promenade, which was in precinct 1, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, precinct 1, but at the south end of precinct 1. You can get there, but it'll probably take a little walk. You have to cut over. You can cut over to 10th Street and go there. It'd probably take an hour and a half or so to get there.
So, once we run this competition, I think it'd look cool if I had my tusk in.
Do you want to wait till after the competition?
Nope, let's do it now.
All right.
That way, if I need to, I can bite somebody with them.
I'm trying to find a list of shit we got to do still. We got to look for, what's his name's brother? There's a hammer we got to look for.
Oh, yeah, they gotta look for Tormund.
Do you really think we're
Orthovernicus.
going to get that all done like in 12 hours?
I don't know. I mean, we could find some leads or something. I'm just trying to think of any loose ends that we may need to put to rest before we go
I've been
into this
carrying
maze.
these tusks around since episode 3.
Oh, was that was what, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was long. Yeah,
Yeah.
when we fought the ogres.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good to go there. See what kind of modifications they have. Might be
You
useful.
can get your second neck. So you
Yeah.
can
Well, hopefully,
There you
an
go.
aquatic net. Can I have a?
I'm gonna
steel
wear
neck
2
here?
cloaks.
fish heads.
Just have a fish head.
His name is Melvin. Melvin Bartholomew Brindle Hyde.
Love it.
Nelson Bartholomew Rental.
And he's dead, and it stings over here on my shoulder.
I'm just constantly Febrezing that son of a bitch.
He's like, bro, 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 bro.
I can't handle you guys. You guys are in a weird mood. I can tell.
Yeah, a little bit.
Must have been all that self-killing you guys did last week. My bad.
Something.
All right, so you are heading to Precinct 5
Yeah.
and the Zonnet area. It's the main area hub there is known as Zonnet 7. It's the largest one. The other Zonnets are sort of on the outskirts, but Zonnet 7 is like the main large pool. You guys went there originally to get the little like hover car thing down into the ocean depths and figure out about the fallen lab that sunk into the ocean. It was already in the ocean. It sunk further. Man, it's been a long time ago. You guys have been on a lot of
Yep.
journeys since then.
All
All right, so yeah, we'll say relatively uneventful. The flow in the city right now is very on edge. There's a lot of excitement, but much like Sadek promised, at least it seems as if he's kept his word. It's quiet as far as there are no assaults, there's no fires, there's no explosions. The Boros even seem to be a little bit less patrolling than they have been in the skies. The law mages from the Orzhov Syndicate and the Azoria Senate seem to have went back to normal duties. There are people, more common folk, guildless even, out on the streets in larger numbers. Posters and banners and flyers all announcing the contest of the illicit maze being open to all members of Ravnica. The depths not quite explained on said advertisements, but there is a sort of hope in the air of and chatter of things returning back to normal one way or another. You make it into past the areas of 10th Street into Precinct 5. Off in the distance, you see the Aspiri Library that you have been in a couple of times now, I think. It's off in the distance, along with all of the boiler works and other things off in the distance before you get into Precinct 4.
On the way back, maybe we can hit the library, see if there's any information about this maze at all. Some obscure old book or something worth a shot.
Possible. Yeah.
Maybe give us an edge.
Say we could look at spells, but I don't have money for that.
I can buy you a cantrip.
Yeah, really.
So you make it into the area where you were before. You're looking for genetic modifiers. You're gonna have to probably go into the. It's not like they have a shop for that. History check to see if any of you know where to go do that.
All of us, one of us.
Whoever wants to make the roll.
16.
Okay. Well, with a 16, I would say you know a little bit about it. There are genetic labs all through the outer Zonnets. The main Zonnet, Zonnet 7, is more of like the central hub. There are some visitors that come in there, but you don't know, from what you remember hearing and what little bit you know about the Simic, as they are sort of private. They don't have a lot of people on the surface. So a lot of what happens with them is contained in the ocean's depth, or just maybe on the outskirts of the rim of Precinct 5. They don't have a lot of members usually out and about in the other areas. Their stuff is pretty focalized where they're at, as they are very firm believers in that the entire world will eventually be covered in water again. They wholeheartedly believe that. So to find a genetic modifier, you would probably have to ask around in either the central hub or know someone that works in the outer Zonnet.
I don't know anybody.
Yep, me either.
Well, I guess we can ask around.
That couldn't hurt. Or we could ask, who's that new leader of the Simic?
You guys do not have a very good work, like, you don't really have a relationship with Zagana.
You didn't tell us her name.
You didn't ask.
before.
True.
Well, you were introducing all of them by name.
I did. She did not give her name,
Yeah, that's true.
Well, now it's written down.
but her name is Zagana.
Female merfolk.
Badass female merfolk. She's got
Can't
another
believe you
territory,
forgot to
right?
write down.
Yeah, we ask around. Sure. Who was that guy that gave us the lifeboats to go down underwater last time? He was helpful.
He was just the guy that worked at
Yeah,
at the tourist area.
Yeah.
Yeah, they may not know.
Oh, we'll swap out with multiple people a day. I mean, we just look around and see, is there anybody that kind of looks like they know what they're doing more than other people? Like maybe walking a bit more confidently or flopping.
You mean on the surface? Because you guys are sort of on the
just on the
you guys are on the
surface.
outskirts of the pool. Because to my knowledge, none of you can swim or breathe underwater.
No.
So, not without a spell or assistance.
Well, we can try and rent another one of those pods, go
That's
down
true.
there,
Mm-hmm.
circle around or something.
Yeah, I mean, we could go to that same place we went before and either ask them or
So we was
rent
in
one and
there.
go there. Yeah.
We was in their guild hall or no?
Don't think we're in the guild.
You guys
hall.
passed
We
through
passed it. Yeah.
when you went down.
So we know where it is. So we can go there and ask for directions.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you guys want to try and get a pod?
Yeah, or
Okay.
at least ask if they know anything.
Well, the transport pods that lead down into the lower surface, the stand's still up. It's running. It's like a 24-hour thing. There's almost always somebody there that can help you. You guys are still in like the early parts of the day, so you look around for the person that helped you before, the elf that had a few modifications himself. Doesn't look like he might be working today, but there's a Veldikin working at the stand, a female Veldikin. This one's kind of weird. She actually has like hair, and all the Veldikin you've seen to this point don't have hair. She only has it growing on like the backside of her head, but it's dark blue, like dark blue, much darker than her actual skin. She's got it pulled back and into a braid. It almost looks like she's wearing like some kind of a wetsuit, but it flows out at the bottom like a robe. It's like a bright white, pearl white kind of color with trimmed and green embroidered looking symbols that you recognize as symbols of the Simic. It looks sort of like a tree that forms out into a wave. Her eyes seem like fish eyes. As you kind of look, you can see the the pupils are very big, and the color of them, it looks odd. You've seen many Vidalcan in the city. She definitely looks as if she's had some sort of modifications. She seems to be helping some other customers, other land dwellers. They look to be business people of some type. They don't look like they are affiliated with any sort of guild. Some of them are carrying chests that look ornate. They look fancy. They might be paying tribute, or maybe they're proposing some sort of business. You're not sure, but they seem to be dressed in nicer suits, and they seem to have purpose there. It's 2 humans, both male, both probably middle-aged, and they seem to know what they're doing. So while she's finishing up with them, she sees your group approach. Hello. And it sounds almost like she's throwing up at first, but then you can actually hear, like, you see her throat kind of expand out like a frog.
How y'all doing?
Oh, good.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Don't hold your burps in. They hurt.
Or do you need a lozenge?
I'm good.
Well, all right. Well, we was just looking for transportation to go down under.
Do you have business below?
Yeah, we're meeting up in the guild hall.
In the guild hall.
Yeah, we're
The guild hall is sort of off limits to visitors at the time being, in preparation for the competition.
well, we figured that's the best place to go if we're looking to get some modifications done.
Are you members of the Simic Combine?
We are members of a guildless Ravnica right now.
You do not belong to the Simic Combine?
Not directly. We worked for him before, though.
The Simic do not hand out many modifications to non-Simic members without a substantial fee.
How much fee we talking?
I'm not sure. It would obviously depend on the modification. What were you looking to have done?
Show her the walrus teeth.
Yeah, I pull out the boar's teeth. I'm like, I killed these barehanded from a water pig,
Bris.
and I want to put in as my bottom tusk. Like, yes.
You can put in a request to see if they could handle that. We don't usually bring the parts.
So it should be cheaper because we're bringing our own parts.
It actually would be more complicated.
Huh.
It's more of evolution than installation.
Huh. So they want to put Miracle Grow on your teeth.
Not exactly. We would modify your genetic makeup.
Well, how much other things would that change on me?
Whatever you want,
Well, I only want the teeth.
then that's what they would change.
How much that cost? 3 or 4 copper pieces?
To non-Semic members, it is quite expensive. I am not a geneticist. I am not sure. Simic Combine members, it's free.
Well, that's an easy way to get members converted, isn't it?
Indeed it is. Indeed it is.
Can we convert from one to?
What's the conversion process look like?
To become a new member, you have to renounce membership of your present guild, which could cause some guilds to have hostility towards you. You would lose any favor that you have with said guild, as the guilds are very competitive with each other. You would have to prove your worth in some way. It's not as easy as filling out an application. You'd have to offer something to the Combine.
Don't worry, he's got the walrus tusks.
I meant in the way of labor, knowledge, or magical might. Are any of you scientists?
Yep.
Deception check.
I'm not doing it for me though. She said any of us.
for
Group deception check.
Well, we're not really deceiving though.
You are definitely lying.
He's a scientist.
He is not a scientist.
Okay. He was.
He is an artificer. It is different. He is an
Good thing I have a
inventor.
+6.
Do you
to
want deception?
Yes, group deception check.
All right.
I doubt Rocky's deception is high.
12.
Oh god.
Oh God, not like this. Not like this.
Yeah, well, it's a
So we're
10.
not joining the
13.
It's 4 plus 6, so it's a 10.
10 plus 2.
So how'd we do?
I think.
So by
10, 12,
scientist, what are
13.
you going with there? Like genetics part, or like we build bombs, or like what kind of? There's different
bombs.
sorts of
I love it.
scientists.
Those who specialize in genetics.
I'm kind of like that,
In what way?
and like I can put a body part over here real quick and over there real quick. It just depends on where I throw that bomb at.
You
like-
genetically remove those tusks.
Yeah, and I genetically removed a lot of people's legs and arms.
I believe that's called genetic displacement.
Yes.
Elvin chimes in.
I think what she's trying to say here is, I mean, look.
And he pulls out his little hand with all the fingers on it. Like,
Oh god.
like
This is genetic
Chris
modification.
is
Right
like,
here.
fuck! Okay, this is horse
Next
shit.
to just summon Harvey.
Yeah, I'd rather have Harvey.
Are you sure about that?
I don't know how you don't like my friend. He's very nice and
He doesn't have eyes.
He doesn't have a lot of things.
Yeah,
he,
but, yeah. how do you
Elvin
know-
kind of just looks at you all, kind of like, okay, and he just puts it back in his pocket.
I always feel like it's just not paying attention.
I feel like he has a hole in his pocket, and that's where he puts that thing.
Yeah.
That's why he's always. You think he'd be less grumpy with that thing in his pocket?
Well, we may have struck a dead end.
So what you're telling me?
Would you like me to put you on in a request?
Well, that would be
They,
great.
they do take requests from time to time, sometimes in the realm of a new modification that they hadn't tried.
Oh, well, let's try that. See if I haven't seen anybody with this. You have your and nice hair, and I've seen other modifications with tails. I haven't seen big old teeth. So yeah, you go ahead and put me down.
They might be interested. You could be the first.
Yeah, I could be.
They would, even as a non-Simic, if the science fascinates them, they might offer it for free.
That's my favorite language. Let's go.
I will name, and she pulls out a
My name is Skriznet,
Skriznet,
King of the Goblins.
King
There's a comma there. That's
Yes.
confusion.
King of the Goblins.
Yep.
I didn't even know there was
Of
such a
the
thing.
Izzet Guild.
You're the king of the Izzet Guild? You're king of the goblins and of the Izzet Guild.
That's what I said.
Yes.
Yes. Got it?
Oh, you want more?
Is there any more titles?
I don't need any more
Your
time.
Majesty?
Well, if you want to, you can.
And what modification? You said walrus tusks?
Yes. I don't need
Walrus
the full
tusk.
tusk, and I want him inverted.
Race goblin walrus tusk.
Inverted.
So bottom, right?
Bottom going up.
Okay.
But I don't want him going past my eyes. I want him like mid cheek level.
The Simic are good at what they do. If the modification doesn't benefit you in any way or makes it impossible to live, they would not do that.
Yeah, I really don't want to poke my eyeballs out with my teeth.
That would not be well.
What I want to do is bite somebody and my teeth go in their eyeballs. Through the back of their skull.
This is a thing that people would want.
Are you trying to vomit?
No, it's fine.
Do you need some Zofran?
I don't.
Okay.
Can we help you with anything else?
No.
Do you install second necks?
I don't know.
love
Minotaur?
No, that's okay. We'll wait
Oh,
for King of the Goblins
okay,
first. I don't want to like bumble.
She scratches it out. Okay.
I don't want to clog the pipe here. We want to get Goblin King his walrus tusk first.
Second neck. Interesting.
How many people down there got second next?
Usually none.
So it could be a free thing.
It seems redundant.
Well, you don't
I
know
mean,
mine.
What if you want to
my
wear
intentions.
two cloaks?
Feed it?
You feed it.
I
Does it
feel
have
like
a mouth or
the
does it have a head attached to it?
He has a wide
Just the neck
body, so he
portion.
needs two necks for two cloaks to cover that wide body.
Why wouldn't we just make his neck wider?
Yeah, why wouldn't we make your neck wider?
I'll tell you why. The DM said necks, not wide necks. Well, how long does it take to get these requests back? Pretty quick?
Well, with the upcoming competition, I'm not sure. Usually it would take anywhere between 24 and 48 hours, but I know that a lot of the head scientists right now have been putting a lot into the competition. Some of the higher ups have been assembling their own team and trying to find members within the combine to participate as maze runners. So it's been a little hectic for everyone. So I wish I had a better date for you, but I would say it would be after the competition. That is, if we're all still here.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be here because you're looking at the champions.
You are maze runners.
Sure are.
Team is it?
You are from different guilds.
Mm-hmm.
We're all from Ravnica, though. We're all working
Different
together.
guilds working for the same place.
You were representing the Is It.
In a way. I'm also, in a way, representing everyone else.
Fascinating.
We're representing for the best interest of Ravnica. We were just chosen as the Is It champions.
Well, I wish you luck.
Well, thanks.
Thank you.
Hopefully, we can get things back to the way they were.
That's the plan.
Yeah, hopefully. It's the idea. Well, bye.
Thanks for your help.
Have a good day.
Well, now what?
Do we want to check out the library, see if we can dig up any more about the maze, or it was the
Can't look up anything about the maze because it's something new, isn't it?
well,
or the previous maze that was.
well,
It's been there all along.
exactly. Well,
As
what's their name? The big Sphinx, the original one. I forget the
Azor.
Azor. That's the one. I mean, they had like they had the foresight for this maze for like a long time. Like they had it while they were building Ravnica, from what I remember. I mean, we could always try and research was it Well Springs? Is that what they were called?
The who?
I'm trying to remember what like the magical things that the guild halls were built over.
Ley lines.
Ley lines. I don't know where I got Well Springs from.
I mean, it sounds good, but
It does sound good.
I was like, did I tell them a thing and then not remember the thing that I told them?
No, it's the other way around.
I'm
You
usually
told me
really
the
good about
thing.
not telling you a thing, and then it's usually names I forget, like the names of people.
So we can look up those, see if we can find anything in the library about that, see if we can get any more information.
yeah, I think it's at least worth a shot. We're gonna
Yeah.
walk past it on the way. If there's nothing, we keep on moving on.
Mhm.
And I mean, does anyone else have anything else pressing? I know I probably spend the night with the family again
That's
before
understandable.
we get going, but that's about it. Dinner's normally ready at 7.
I'm gonna have to go and like see how things are in my locker.
You have to say goodnight to all the things in his locker.
Yeah.
Stock some ice.
You go do that. That's gross.
Well, I just want to make sure nobody's like breaking in my stuff. And
No, I
getting in
promise
the
you,
thing.
nobody's doing that.
Yeah, as soon as they smell it, they're probably turning the other direction.
So yeah, I'll let you guys go do that, and I'm gonna go handle. See ya.
I know what you're gonna handle. You're gross. Nasty.
Gotta go talk to.
Your meat.
I gotta go talk to the wife. And see if she has any insight. I mean, Lila.
Sure.
That's what.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You guys are really expanding your relationship, huh?
She hates it when I call her that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Let me tell you, just between me and you, she's scary. But That's love.
Yeah, I don't. All right. Well, have fun with the missus, and bright and early tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be here.
All right.
All right, to the library.
To the library.
The library.
As you guys are kind of heading towards the library, Lizica, you feel a little tug on your cloak coming down from below you,
Who is it?
and you see Fibblethip.
Hey, what's up? Where you guys going?
We're going to the library.
Oh, books.
Yep.
Do you think they'll let me in?
Why wouldn't they?
I think it's the library's for everybody. So.
I've never been in. I only have one big eye, you know, so
You should be a good reader.
Yeah.
You read the shit out of a page.
I do read the shit out of a page. I don't know what that means. But yeah,
Yeah, come on with.
cool. So you guys are doing the maze thing?
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's the plan.
It's cool.
Are you doing the maze thing?
No.
Why not?
I couldn't find a team. You know, but it's cool. I got one big eye. I get to watch, so that'll be fun.
We got an opening on our team if you want to join us.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. Would I help?
Would you help?
I don't know.
What can you do?
I can read the shit out of a page.
Yes, you can.
I mean, he turned
Could be
what, two
helpful.
tombstone statues back into people. That's pretty cool.
I mean, I know my way around the city pretty good
That's
when
true.
I'm not lost.
Do you know like sneaky ways around the city, like ways that other people wouldn't know?
No. But when you're this small, you don't have to be that sneaky because you're small.
Yeah, but if you're part of our group, you know, not all of us are that small, so we have to.
You could shrink.
Well, I prefer my current size.
I mean, it's true. If I had to pick your frame would be the ideal one.
Thank you.
I have a feeling that people don't typically talk down to you.
There, you know, there are some.
I bet most of them are dead.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
All right, so what are we going to the library for?
We're gonna do some research on this
Cool.
said event, and you can help out.
All right. Well, I mean, I used to do a lot of paperwork running for the Azorius, but I don't know how I can help. But yeah, if you guys think I might be able to help,
Find something interesting, let us know.
Well, we'll give you a couple keywords,
Cool.
things to look out for, and since you're real tiny, you know, you get all in the nicks and crannies and see if they're maybe hiding any books somewhere or hard to reach places.
I learned a new trick. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
There's a new thing I didn't even know I could do, and I can do this. All right. Do one of you have like a small, I don't know, like a coin or like a piece of rock or dirt or something, like just something you can put in your hand?
Oh yeah, I got a rock.
All right, hold it on your hand.
Oh, okay.
He puts his hands up to the sides of his head, and you see that same sort of aura that grew around him before when he did the cure for petrification, and the object starts to levitate from your hand, and it shoots over towards his direction. He holds out his hand and catches it.
I don't know if I can do that again, but I've done it a couple of times and it's pretty cool.
That
Can
is
you-
pretty cool.
Can you only pull things towards you? Can you push things away?
Oh yeah, no problem.
And then he tosses it up and he shoots he points his mind at it. You can tell he's like aiming at it, and it goes shooting across and slams into the wall.
This guy's got the force, guys. Quick, now do that giant spaceship.
I think they called it telekinesis.
That's the one.
That's the one. How big of an object can you do that to?
I don't know. I've never tried. It's been small things right now because I am small.
That's
Sure,
fair.
sure.
Start small.
What about you see that statue over there?
Yes.
Looks like it should be closer to us.
I mean, I can make it closer to me.
And he snaps his finger and he disappears and then reappears on the statue.
Oh my goodness, this guy's full of tricks.
That was not
Look,
exactly
I got it closer to me, guys.
not exactly what I was talking
Oh.
about, but I like what if you used the Teleka thingy on that and pulled it? Is that too big maybe? Or push it?
You see he's concentrating real hard on it, and he's still on the statue, and it lifts up and it goes at a speed that you can tell is not really controlled, and it looks like it's about to crash into you, and then at the last second it sort of stops and it falls.
Oh,
Oh, that was real good.
wow.
That was awesome. Did you mean to almost hit me with it?
No, I was actually trying to hit you with it.
Well,
Well, I figured you could catch it. You're
yeah,
pretty big.
sure. I'd probably just need a little bit of work still with the Telica thingy.
That's cool. Yeah.
All right, yeah, come on, we're to the library.
Cool. Let's go.
So you guys make your way up in the large set of steps into the marble and gold area of the Spiri Library. You are greeted by who you now know are members of House Demir, in long, full-on black cloaks. They all look very stern and always very serious, much like they did before. You see what you assume to be a main keeper of knowledge, as they are not actually referred to as librarians, sitting behind the main desk when you first come in.
Yeah, let's probably head up there, and I mean, we can ask if you want.
Yeah, sure. Is your domain? I'm gonna let you take the lead here.
Sure. Yeah, we'll go ahead and walk over there.
As you approach the hooded keeper of knowledge, lifts their head slightly, and you can make out a few more facial details. This is basically a high elf, with a like silvery, wispy gray hair that's kind of draping down the back of their neck. Eyes are like midnight; they're almost completely black.
Yes. Hello.
Hi, we're looking for any knowledge about kind of, I guess we could start with maybe if you guys have anything on the ley lines of within Ravnica.
There are a few books talking about the theory of the ley lines. It's been a popular topic as of late.
I bet.
Yes. This way.
Sure.
You follow this keeper of knowledge, and you see several other cloaked figures that are like attending to other people or carrying books and putting them back on shelves. It's all very somber. It feels much like almost like a church. It has that same kind of feel of like a church where everyone's very serious. There's not a lot of noise. Yet, even in the silence, it's almost as if you can hear something like a tone. It almost sounds like a harp, but very faint. That sort of, it's like almost like white noise that fills the air, but it isn't loud. It's audible, but not. If you talk, you can't hear it. But while it's silent, it gives you that sort of white noise tonal feel. You come over to the left-hand side of the library where there's a couple of large tables, and the Keeper of Knowledge uses their own form of telepathy to have a couple of books come down to them, much more controlled. You actually see an outline of like blue energy around it as it comes down, and they present you with two books.
I take it that you are competitors or interested in competing, so I took the liberty of this.
And one of the books is the History of the Guilds.
Okay.
When you are finished, please just leave them, and one of the custodians will come and place them back.
Can we rent these ones out? Like take them with us for an amount of time and bring them back?
At the present time, no. These two particular books have been very highly sought after.
I think I returned it.
I don't think we did.
I think I did.
These particular books,
Understandable.
at the time being, no.
All right.
Well, thanks for the help. Let you know if we need anything else.
Very well. If you need anything, please let one of the keepers know.
Mhm.
Peace be with you.
and turns very silently, like eerily silently, and walks away.
All right, 2 books.
All right. So he said, well, one of them was the history of Ravnica. What was the other one? Title?
It is a biography on Azor the First.
Seems like a good book to read.
Good one to start with.
All right. Which one do you guys want to start with?
Another because I don't want to.
Fair enough. Which one do you guys want me to start with?
Why don't we start with the history of Azor?
Okay. Sure. We'll go
You
ahead.
said the
And...
history of Az. Okay.
So the book it is written by an author that you've never heard of. It was written probably based off of the date, the copyright in the book, probably 3,000 or 4,000 years ago.
Metatron.
It's written from a perspective of someone who found like an old journal, maybe of Azor's, and read that, and it's all hearsay. A lot of it because Azor at that point was long gone. So these are not like actual interviews, and it's not Azor's own words, but at times it seems like they could be Azor's words, like I said, maybe from letters or. And it starts out pretty basic, talking about the original fundamentals of what Azor believed, what Azor stood for, the pure embodiment of justice, the right for all peoples of Ravnica to coincide and serve a purpose and a function, and stop all the fighting and bickering. Oddly enough, it does mention in at least a couple passages about the Nephilim, as he acknowledges that they existed, and seems as though he may have had more information about who they are and their purpose in history with Ravnica, but never went into more details. It goes on to talk about this after the guilds were formed, Azor had put this plan in place unknown to all of the guilds. And it talked of the specific reasons and locations of every single guild hall for the 10 guilds of Ravnica. They were placed in very strategic places and with purpose, as they were the highest collection of mana flows in the 10 spots in the world of Ravnica. All of the guilds are connected by these invisible layers of energy that he referred to as ley lines. They drip heavily in a source that he referred to as mana. He identifies that there are many colors and of mana in the known worlds, and that certain beings, even unbeknownst to them, seem to lean towards one or two or even three of these when performing magical feats within Ravnica. They themselves were not aware even that they were tapping into these, but in certain parts, magic is more affluential, it's more powerful, and it's stronger, and those points are the guild halls. There have been a few times over the course of Ravnica's history where the guilds had talked and discussed about maybe moving into different sections or different areas, and Azor talks about this. For whatever reason that they didn't know, they didn't. They never moved. They always stayed in that spot. They built up, they built around, they grew, they expanded, but they never stopped the original foundation blocks for where their guilds were at. And that was because he had put mass hypnotic suggestions within the mana ley lines that he had discovered. So if they ever decided to move, they would then thus decide not to. He knew that the fabric and threads of the entire city, of the entire foundation of Ravnica, would be unraveled if these ley lines were not drawn upon by the magic wielders within Ravnica. In fact, it is the magic and the mana flows within Ravnica that he wholeheartedly believes keeps Ravnica in one piece. Which is why he believes that there needs to be balance and maintain that. However, his failsafe thing, this concept he put in when he offered the suggestions for building the guilds there, was also a backup plan in case something happened to the guild pact. Azor was a planner, from what you can tell. He was a plotter and very intelligent. He himself loved puzzles, loved riddles, and most things that he did, even his judgments that he passed in the Senate, and the laws that he passed in the Senate, were in riddle form. They may not have even made sense to everyone, but there was always some sort of like deeper meaning than a literal meaning. But the literal meaning most of the time was all that was important. So the failsafe basically says that if the guild pact was destroyed, the guilds themselves could rally, have people run to attempt to collect these energies while still defending their guild halls in a sort of competition, not by decree, just at this point, the guilds kind of stay in their own area and they're not just going to let you in. So instead of turning into an all-out war of you having to invade them, he decided to have this concept of a competition where the guilds could come up with challenges and present them. But he hid all these things within the guild halls when they were being built. Niv Mizzet told you that he discovered a map, and he talks about this map in the book, but it's very cryptic, and it doesn't really tell you that it's the answer. And Niv Mizzet's had it all this time and didn't realize that he had the answer, which is why it took him so long to figure it out. So now that they have both pieces of the puzzle, they can solve the puzzle. And that's pretty much the most important stuff that you get from Azor's book, History of Azor.
Guess it's time to crack open the second one.
Yeah.
Okay. This book is much bigger. As far as the history of the guilds, you're not entirely sure why you were given this book, other than maybe to have more insight into the guilds. Is there a particular guild that you would like to look into before I just start randomly spouting off nonsense for the next however long?
Fair.
Is there like a thing that you were looking for as far as what about the guilds, what they do, what they're known for, what their main purpose is?
I think I'm okay. I think of one off the top of my head.
I don't know. We basically know the strengths of each guild, what they do, what they're good at, know where they are. Is there, since Ravnica started, now it's a little bit bigger than it was, and as he was saying, the guilds themselves have grown bigger and higher. I wonder if there is maybe outlines of the original guild halls in there, so we know what like the actual initial structure was. I don't know if that means anything, if there's more of this mana stuff in there, or if that's where we would find some challenges.
Okay. I mean, it's worth a look.
Yeah.
In both Azor's journal and in the history of the guilds, you see in Azor's book, it looks almost like there is a blueprint, but it focuses mostly on the actual mana ley lines themselves than where the guilds are. The guild hall structure obviously is important, but now in the history of the guilds, it does have a few sketches of what the original guild halls look like. Obviously, they've either grown bigger or they've changed, but they're still in the same spots. As far as getting clues to that, no, I would say no, there would be no clues. The challenges themselves, you're not sure what they are. No one really knows what they are except for the individuals that are doing them. And the only clues that you guys have been given is that each one of the challenges is going to fall into the strength of the guild in some capacity. So I would say that as long as you fully understand exactly what it is that each of the guilds do, you will have a better idea of what that challenge might partake. And you can try to prepare accordingly, at least assume what that might be.
Yeah.
Well, we can.
So as far as like an idea, I would say maybe you could figure out or try to have a plan of attack, like a general idea of what you think each one could be.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, let's read over. I guess, the strengths of each guild again. Think
Just
of
a
the possibilities
Yeah.
of what they might
Okay.
throw
kind
at us.
of
This might be a good idea
refresher.
for a refresher. You guys can
Yep.
get a couple notes on them. All right, I'll go over the very basics here. Not reading like a textbook, and I will go down the line. The Azorius Senate is the guild responsible for making laws within Ravnica. They hold the Senate, the courtrooms, and they also have law enforcement. It's a little bit different than the Boros, but the same, if that makes sense. Their history is steeped deep in sphinxes. Their present leader is a descendant of Azor. From what you know about sphinxes, and at least from Azor, most sphinxes like puzzles. They like riddles. They like things that challenge the brain. But they also seem very just. That is the Azorius Senate.
So, with all of that information, what do we think the Azorius could throw at us? Some sort of puzzle?
Probably
Riddle?
probably something like a riddle, or
Would it be a puzzle like a maze? Would it be a puzzle like a box?
I think it would probably be something more along the line of a mental puzzle, something like a riddle,
It's
or
gonna be a riddle or a puzzle.
yeah, or if it is a physical thing, it will have something to do as well with a mental aspect to it. If I have to think about that.
Yeah, and then what we know about sphinxes, they're just and they're noble. They like the puzzles. What else?
It's gonna be a very insanely hard jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah. Um. Some kind of puzzle. Not like a word search puzzle. Maybe like a puzzle box or something we have to get into, or a vault or something. So maybe there could be like, I don't know if they have this down in where you're from, but they have like these escape room things for the kids in the Boros, and like they have little clues around different rooms, and you got to put them together to get to the end.
I think I've heard of what you're talking about. Yeah.
Could be something kind of like that.
Yeah.
So when we take on that one, I think we need to be extra cognizant of things that stick out, maybe don't stick out as much.
A
that
lot of
could be
the-
clues
yeah.
like that.
Try and think outside the box as well. It's probably type of deal.
All right. On to the next one.
The Boros Legion is the military might within Ravnica. They are much about honor and justice, but more defending those who cannot defend themselves. You know that they are they are led by a Firemane Angel. She is a warrior. Most of the highest ranking members of the Boros Legion are either warriors or warrior priests of some type. I would not say that they are conquerors, but they are definitely defenders.
All right. Any ideas on this one? I know in training we did like lots of strategy kinds of games, like capture the flag is a common one we did. There could be some kind of physical yet maybe tactical skill that we have to do, some sort
Well,
of battle.
It said like defenders, those who can't defend themselves. It might be some instance where
They beat the people that can't defend themselves.
I don't think that's right.
No, I'm thinking protecting something
Oh,
from like maybe waves, or we have to move someone
Well, it's
to somewhere.
kind of why capture the flag is kind of
It's something similar to capture
they
flag.
move them
Yeah.
from the streets to the prison. I got you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they lock up the bad guys honorably, sure. Sure. So it could be something like that, some kind of challenge of protection.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be a lockdown challenge.
All right.
Okay. Ready for the next one?
Yep.
House Demir is the guild of information couriers and brokers, and up until recently, they have been known as secret keepers. From what Lizica knows, one of the truest concepts of House Demir, besides keeping at all costs information that you have been sworn to protect, is never trust your eyes.
So I'm thinking like pin to tail on the donkey kind of deal. You blindfolded, don't trust in the eyes.
At all what I meant by that.
Not by that. Okay.
No. I'm meaning more illusions or things that seem like they're one thing, but they're a different thing. Stuff that plays a trick on your mind.
Mm.
Trying to separate reality from what's fake, pretty much.
So there could be like, shit, I don't know, fake wall we have to go through or something that's just an illusion.
Could be something like that.
Do these illusions like come to life and attack you?
They could.
Shit.
There's plenty of things like that. There's
It
illusions.
could, since especially as a group as ourselves, test our loyalties. Be an illusion of our loyalties to each other.
There's things that can make your own fears come out in front of you.
But I don't like to say too much because somebody has an evil look on his face over there at the end of the table.
I kind of like listening to your ideas.
So you can use them against
I
us.
might change some of my challenges that I've been working weeks on for and go, If you see me writing some ideas down, it means you guys had a good idea.
So we're definitely playing capture the flag because that
Capture
idea
flag?
was fucking bomb. Let me tell you what, defending something while attacking, something can't defend
Ghost
itself.
in the
Does Dungeon
graveyard.
Box have any capture the flag for one shot?
Dear Dungeon in a Box.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, what's your best guess? What kind of challenge? I mean,
Probably something to do with.
like we're all gonna take acid and then have to find something out.
Why would we do that? That burns. It kills you.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Burns the brain.
Not acid.
What were
but,
you before you were Boros? I feel like you have some inner demons that need to come out.
I don't know. Pops never talked about it. From somewhere, or we were guildless. I know we was guildless for a while. I don't know where we come from originally, but I was born guildless, essentially. Anywho,
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, obviously it'll have something to do with illusions and probably baseline having to deal with trying to find out what's real.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna smash every door, chest, sconce. I'm not gonna trust the gravy.
Mimics.
There could be mimics.
That's all it is. It's gonna
Don't
be
trust-
30 faces of
Don't
mimics.
trust your
I'm
eyes.
gonna be on fucking edge.
It's
Don't
just
leave-
it's the entire room with every
Sorry, that was
object
not-
to be-
It's gonna be the last room. He's gonna be like,
That's not
"We
actually-
made it," and he
It's like
grabs
there's
the
this
mug and he's like,
absolute-
"Yes."
like a face hugger just comes at me.
I won't lie. I had considered making a mimic challenge just because you're afraid of mimics now. Like everything basically is a mimic.
Mimics.
You get this healing
Fucking
potion,
mind
right? And
flayers.
you,
Let's
you
see.
take it with you. You carry it around with you all this time. You go to take it, and the healing potion.
I got it. The
It's
challenge is going to be a homebrew mimic mind player.
Yeah, you see Scrapes go,
Definitely a
"What
face
is this? It's a bag of M&Ms. What's that stand for?" Oh, fuck.
Mimics and mud flares.
Don't open the bag.
Don't do it. And Scrapes is like, "Why no? Fuck." And just blows open. Mimics, mind players just come flying out.
They weren't in
You guys
this
are
room.
giving me so many good ideas. Thank you.
Trick or treat, motherfuckers. I'm starting to wake up a little bit. Sorry.
Good.
I've been like,
I know you looked a little tired.
God.
Drink some water. Water's better than coffee when
I've
you're tired.
like those. I probably drink about.
Let me change. Go to the bathroom. All right, so that's Demur.
Demir.
We're gonna fight mimics.
Mix. That's it. That's all I wrote down.
Mimics. That's the challenge. The Gruul clans
Railroads are because of me.
are a bunch of
Speed boost.
wilderness
Yeah, I'm gonna carry
loving,
around.
beast loving, basically free roam rangers. Some of them are obviously more hostile than others, but from what you know and remember of the Gruul clans, they live by a very simple philosophy of the strongest survive, the strongest lead. There's only room for the strongest.
All I can think of. I don't know what popped in my mind. I think of the Cyclops now, carrying around like a little pet. What was that fucking with Norm Macdonald? And they're like, does he have his finger up that chihuahua's butt?
I don't think I saw that one.
Wasn't that from
Dirty Deeds or
no, it was the Little Nicky.
huh?
It was from Little Nicky.
No, but no, it was it was Norm Macdonald's like only movie. But Chris Farley was in there and he's like, Hooker bit my nose off.
I don't
What
remember
was
that
that
movie, but I
movie?
do remember.
But it was
seeing
him and what's his name? He
I
was-
do not remember the name of that movie.
like I think he always did a lot of bits on Howard Stern. But it was the guy that played on he was on Billy Madison as the golfer as
Is it the animal?
no.
Dirty work?
Dirty Work, that's it right there. Yes. And they always played like pranks on people. But the thing is, like, the guy that played the bad guy, he like owned all these apartment buildings, was shutting them down. It's like, does he have his finger up that chihuahua's butthole?
Man, Chevy Chase, Don Rickles.
Yeah, that thing was stacked with people. In it.
Yeah.
Yeah, gonna have to look that one up. Anywho,
It's funny.
the Gruul.
Hooker bit my nose off.
So yeah, the only thing you know about them is that they believe in the strongest, and
Got that unicorn with
might is right, and you know that they hold beasts and other monsters in high regard.
2 knuckles deep.
Probably gonna be another sort of.
That's just gonna be brute. That's just gonna be brute strength. So I understand this one. Rocky, you set this one out and let me in.
Sure.
Yep, we got this.
We got this. We got
Yeah.
this covered.
I'll just go on to the next one without you. I'll just take a break.
You take a break. You take a mental break.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm sure you'll be wore out from the puzzles
And the mimics.
and the mimics, the M&Ms.
I envision that one being similar to what we've kind of already done with them. They throw this champion at us, this champion beast, and we have to defeat it in some way.
I feel like this is just me. Watch out for your dad.
Well, I mean, he's participating in the competition,
It's
so
possible.
we always got to watch out for him. But he's not necessarily a Gruul, so I don't think we necessarily have him as a challenge boss. I think it'll be a separate fight.
Could be another Minotaur though.
Will you lend him your armor? And then I'll burn his head.
I got you. I know how effective that is.
From
And,
experience.
yep. I hear Fireball works too.
It's pretty good.
My eyebrows haven't grown back since.
You have
Yeah.
eyebrows before though.
Bone patch here from that.
Yeah. You should see his chest.
Sorry.
I burned his nipples off.
All right. So after the Gruul,
So the Izzet League are a bunch of inventors and trying to make the world a better place through machinery and magical things combining. Everything that you've seen having to do with them has either been some sort of machines, piping, and it's all been trying to figure out ways to harness all three elements of fire, water, and magic. Also lightning, they like to mess around with that stuff too. And they have figured out how to make these like weird little batteries that run off of arcane energy. So that's what you know about them.
So we'll have to put out a magical fire that was caused by lightning with water.
That's close enough. We'll work on that when it comes.
Well, I mean, what ideas you got? It's good that we prepare, think about
Well, I think we're going to have to deal with. You notice that everything is mechanical.
it. Mm-hmm. Sure.
So we're either going to have to deal with like little mecha droids, or we're going to have to deal with booby traps.
Or maybe it's something like problem solving.
So, yeah.
So
I think that'd be a good thing for Elvin's little hand puppet to deal with. Especially if there's something that squishes it. If we have to fill in holes with, we use all the fingers.
I like that
Yep.
idea.
yeah, he has hundreds of them. So
All right, what's next?
The Golgari swarm, they are they produce food. They also dispose of all the organic wastes as far as plants, even some corpses, as the cemeteries and tombs now are starting to
We're just going to have to shit in a bucket
To,
and plant
to fill in. From what you have seen and interact with them, they have a sort of harmonious and symbiotic relationship with the undead and plants.
I'm not sure
what
about
about
these guys.
undead plants.
No. I'm not looking forward to any tests from these guys.
Yeah, it could range from anything from zombies to plants to recycling.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta clean out a latrine.
Or we could be the compost at the end of the day.
We could. Makes me think of a Rick Moranis movie with a giant alien flower. That movie sucks.
Does.
I'm sorry.
I didn't like it.
I saw it for the first time this year.
I'm out of here.
Fuck you guys, I'm going home. Actually, I'm just going over here grab beer.
All right, so
Little shop.
damn it. So a kind of undead plant
Ooh,
Made from-
more.
made from waste.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This one might have involving something like fighting, probably something undead and plant like. Could be something completely different. Who knows?
All right, what's next?
The Selesnya Conclave believe in the blending of nature and society, whereas the Gruul wish to keep things very much the way that they were without society's intervention. The Selesnya have found ways to make the two cohesive, symbiotic, and get along. They believe in combining modern technologies and architecture and structure with what exists. You know that they also hold certain beasts in high regards, and they also hold plants in high regards. Out of all the guilds you've had interaction with, you feel that you understand them the least.
That's fair.
They are sort of kind of private. They kind of keep to themselves and kind of do their
I
own
feel
thing.
like we've only been over there like once or twice total.
Yeah, once for potions
Mhm.
and then once for that tree.
Yep. That poor tree.
Yep.
That was
Well, we know that they're susceptible to like
fire.
necrotic things,
Oh.
fire things, poison things, that affects their ecosystem pretty hard. So
Well, that's
Maybe-
just to assume if we have to
maybe
fight something there. Yeah.
maybe when we're going through this list, we throw out some weaknesses too.
That's true.
Maybe something to fight them with. So something blending things together. Maybe we have to like tame some sort of rabid creature or something.
That's true. Yeah.
Um,
Name some rabid plant creature monster.
yeah. It'll be like a smoke off or something. I can see that. Cheech and Chong kind of deal.
All you have to do is smoke all this weed.
Just con save.
I'm gonna give you this big bag of weed.
Oh, I got a crit.
You
so
guys
it's fine.
gotta smoke weed for 2.5 hours straight. No breaks, no peeing, no drinking.
No.
First one to die loses.
All right. So,
Man, why didn't I think of that before I already worked really hard on your guys' actual challenge?
so tame animal.
Oh no, you broke it. That was the one that was like glued not real well.
Was it?
Yeah. Sorry, we have some technical difficulty. Somebody fucked with our camera.
Oh, wrong way. Damn it.
Probably won't stay. We'll probably have to glue it again.
Where's the glue?
Where's
I don't know. It's not my house.
I don't have any glue.
Well, it's only me they're missing.
No, we're good.
We're good?
Right on Bill.
Got it.
Well, I hit it with my head. I was like, I'm gonna adjust it.
Yeah. Good enough.
That's close. Nobody like watching this anyway.
We got there's people watching us. We got fans, guys.
Well, hell yeah.
Whatever.
Fantastic.
And thank you all for watching. We appreciate all of you, whether it is presently or in the future.
Yep. All right. So Selesnya, smoke off next.
It's the
could be.
Selesnya Up and Smoke Tour. It's going to be great.
It's me, Dave.
Okay. The next
Dave's
one is
not
the
here,
Civic
man.
Combine. This is another guild that you have not really had a lot of dealings with because they don't really dwell on the surface. They also kind of keep to themselves. The thing that you know as far as their function within society is that they are healers. They offer medicines, vaccines. They've come up with a lot of vaccines for some known viruses and plagues that have tried to pop up from time to time. They hold by the belief of modifying what is there to make it better. And they very much believe in the ideology of evolution.
All right. So we know the Simic is vulnerable to Tasha's hideous laughter.
I don't know if it's just a Simic. It sounds like everybody's vulnerable to
Yeah, that frog thing just did not do
Poor
anything.
ants.
That poor frog, bro.
We just know that most of them are susceptible to bards.
It's true. Just bards in general.
Just bards in general. They hate music. They're like, I hate music. It sucks.
But yes, start playing music, they'll leave.
They're
Well,
those
they
guys
don't-
that listen to the Beatles and
like,
like, God, all their songs
How
are
often
terrible.
have I haven't even used my
Your skin flute?
I haven't used that in a while either. But
Yeah.
thanks. I haven't used Vicious Mockery in forever. I
That's true, yeah.
feel like I'm doing it.
I don't tell you what spells to cast.
I just feel like I'm doing. I have to carry this team half the damn time. Vicious Mockery with its 1d4 is not really going to fucking kill the. Well, my Rocky.
The
is pretty
Mimic
soft.
army? Yeah, you're right. It won't be very good against the Mimic army.
I thought you said the Mimic Garden. I was like, oh god, that would be horrible.
That's a good idea.
Now you
You're like, look at that.
I'm just letting you know. This is the episode. I'm gonna go home. All the little ideas you guys have said. I'm like, that was a good one.
Great,
That
we're
was
gonna-
a
Now
great
that he
one.
made fun of Little Shop of Horrors, he's like,
Oh, he's
it's like
fucked.
Rocky up front. He's like,
You guys are
what
getting
is
a
this?
big ass fucking
It's a
piranha
plant.
plant. Worst thing is
Rocky,
gonna talk.
Rocky thinks he's gonna pick this for his wife. He's like,
It's gonna be
just
great.
fucking turns into a mimic flower.
He's gonna catch. He's gonna do it when we're not thinking about it too.
It's like, feed me.
I always throw things up that you guys like didn't
Feed me,
think I
Stimmick.
remembered. That I always remember when you guys don't think
Oh,
I
yeah.
remembered it.
It's gonna be like 2 years later.
It'll be a different campaign.
It'll be a
You guys
different
won't even be in this one anymore.
All right, so I feel like this one's gonna test many different, like, vast qualities since
Yeah.
they're into blending species. So
and endurance in general as well. I feel like.
yeah, I feel like it's gonna be maybe a little bit more physical, like
Mhm.
physical endurances and different settings.
But how many teams are each guild is gonna have? You
I
need
think it
one?
was one team per guild.
The guilds are each going to get one team. The competition is open up to other members who are not within guilds, and other guilds would be able to run as long as they were not affiliated with said guild. However, from what you gathered, your
I know you like
group
writing
is
all like this
odd
stuff.
because you all are in other guilds.
Mhm.
And the fact that you are representing one lone guild is odd. Almost from what you understand, all of the other competition people will be from one guild. It doesn't actually seem like there's a lot of interest within the guild lists within the city to run. Maybe they have been coerced out of it. Maybe they just don't care. They're hoping that you all fail and you guys get destroyed. Not all of Ravnica likes the guilds.
Not our problem.
The bickering amongst yourselves and the petty squabbles and the bureaucracy of it and the fact that all of these people have to abide by the rules that you've laid in place and they don't really have a lot of say in. So there is a lot of dislike amongst those who are not in guilds. And those not in guilds greatly outnumber those who are.
Ready?
Next one. The Cult of Rakdos. The Cult of Rakdos are the manual labor force and, oddly enough, also the entertainers within Ravnica. They embellish more of the entertainment side and are known more for their crazy shenanigans and often destructive performances. In fact, that's how you met Skriznik. There are some within that are more reserved and more highly revealed. Not all of them are nearly as chaotic. But those who are the most fanatical in trying to seek Lord Rakdos' approval, they go to much more destructive or violent ends to be noticed.
I think this is gonna be one of our most mild mannered
Probably.
fights. Yeah,
Walk through.
yeah. It's gonna be. I'm just kidding. It's gonna be unpredictable.
That's true. I don't know how.
I
much-
think out of all of us, this is gonna be the most unpredictable fight we deal with.
the challenge is making Lord Rakdos laugh.
It's gonna be the most painful.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be something along the lines of what we did with,
Suffering.
Yep, that too. But what we did with Krinko when he had that kind of maze that we went through, and it's
That's
kind
pretty
of
chaotic.
chaotic and
Mhm.
never know what's actually going to happen. It depends on your choices, and I think it could be something like that, like one of those scary fun houses, but deadly.
That's pretty much what that Krenko's was.
Yeah.
You do know that they have these things called murder houses, which are
Oh.
at
There we
times
go.
like fun houses.
There we go.
Just with more murder.
They just call them murder houses.
Wonderful.
Sometimes that's literal, sometimes it's not.
But with less laughs.
They also have these places known as slaughterhouses,
That's a step up.
where
Yeah.
the more depraved acts take place. But those places are more high society. The Hellfire Club would be considered a slaughterhouse.
The poor people get the murder house. The poor people get the murder house.
All right. So with that one, expect the unexpected. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be crazy and chaotic.
Crazy.
All right.
That leaves the Orzhov Syndicate. The thing that you know most about the Orzhov Syndicate is that they have the most diverse types of members. They have a group of clerics known as law mages who uphold the law in a weird way different than the Boros Legion and the Azorius Senate. But they are forms of clerics. They are the religion and also the banking system within Ravnica.
So what we're gonna deal with is a big monstrous finger thing.
A
Yep.
giant.
I will let you
elven.
know that Elven is a complete and total exception within the Orzhov. There is no one else in the Orzhov like him.
Fight a giant Harvey.
He would honestly, with the changes that he's undergone, fit more in, I would say,
The Simic Combine.
actually House Demir.
Oh, would he?
Yep.
Hmm.
He's a little bit even more chaotic for them. But Elvin's his own person.
We've seen that.
You also know that he's been through a lot and that he is changing.
He's like a caterpillar.
All right, guys. This
So
one
yeah,
is
they are
gonna-
like the banking system. They are the religion. You've been in churches of theirs called basilicas, and you know that if you need money, you can get it from them, but you got to pay it back.
This one's just going to be a lot of counting money. That's just a bunch of financing.
There are a lot of whispers. They are also like the organized crime within the city.
So it could have something to do with paying back a debt, bank heist. That'd be cool. Maybe it's something, some kind of challenge that is really, really hard, but they have very strict limitations on it, right? So, like, you have to do a bank heist, but you have to follow these specific rules. So, maybe like no magic, or you can't kill any people, or, maybe something like that. Something pretty strenuous, but you can't use your normal bag of tricks to do it.
I don't know.
Any other ideas?
Not crazy familiar with this guild.
Yeah, just spitballing right now.
I get it. Yeah.
That is all the information on all the guilds.
Good book.
Is there any other things that you seek out in the library, or would you like to now head someplace else?
I think I'm good for now.
I think the old times Chris has been like ripping pages out of books and like making paper airplanes
Origami.
Yes, that sounds
Swans.
right.
or writing into his little journal like ideas of what he's going to use. Like
Burn
that's a
Down
good idea.
Library.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Okay.
Commit arse.
All right, ready goes, Chris. Fiddlethip, you gotta wake Chris up.
Yeah,
It's your initiation.
He kind of like crawls up the chair and he smacks you in the face like back and forth like this.
Chris just like
Oh, he's dead.
wakes up, sees that fucking eyeball staring at him like,
He gets right up in your face. He's like,
I think he's dead.
No, I'm pretty sure he's still breathing.
he knocks on your head.
Are you dead?
I wish.
Where we're
Libraries cure me.
we're getting ready to leave now.
We're leaving.
Where
Let's
are we
go.
going?
I don't know.
We're going to Rockies.
Sure.
Your house?
Well, we can go to my house if you like. I was thinking Rockies the bar.
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot about that place.
What? We own that bar.
I always forget. You call it Rockies.
Oh, we call it Rockies, sure.
Okay.
You know what we could do? We could put a sign up on the bar that says Rockies, so that way everyone knows.
You know what?
That's what
That's
it's
the
called.
first thing we're gonna do when we get back. I'm gonna get guys right on it.
I feel like this is something I want to undertake myself. Like, this is a big deal.
Can you spell?
Yeah. Can you?
Yes.
We can do it
Somewhat.
together.
Do it together.
If, if you're making any grammatical errors, I'll help you correct them.
Got it. We're on top of it.
I'm having flashbacks of Gus and Cratch.
God, what a good
So one of those
episode.
episodes.
Only the one episode was just us two.
It was like 48 hours, but better.
Let's go find a horse barn, guys.
The little kid.
The stable boy in it.
Crinkle.
That was one of my favorite episodes.
I loved watching that back. That
It
was
was
so
so
good.
I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I only got 2 players, and you guys not only stepped up, you like exceeded my expectations.
Little kid gets fucking. I'm fucking kill you.
If you want to look and watch that episode, it should be on YouTube.
It is.
I don't know.
It
I
is.
don't know-
It's
No, I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I don't know if we labeled them back then. But
Yeah, they have names.
what do you know? The
It was the one where I don't remember the title, but
it's like third to last. or
yeah, it was
something.
almost
Yeah.
one of the last ones. It's really good. Like the whole campaign was good. Like the final episode, we're all like misty eyed and weeping, and I'm like,
yeah, no,
this
really.
is so good.
But yeah,
Yeah.
when we raided the barn with the little kid in it,
It just-
and he's like, "Is that used Crinkle?" We're like, "Crinkle ain't
Crinkle gonna kill you.
Crinkle." I'm telling you.
Yeah, we had a mini campaign that we did before this online, so it's pretty damn good. Definitely check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like what 10 episodes or
It's-
something.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was 12 episodes.
12.
it was a lot of fun.
It was the one that we did before we did this one, and I was trying to like get through everything, but I had to like get through it really fast. But it was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
and
when
it-
you went up there and your the very your sorcerer, your magical, you threw a fireball right in the middle of all.
yeah, my wild magic.
Wild
I did
magic.
that. I did that more than once.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, there were some nice surprises in there.
Mm-hmm.
A rematch with Strahd, False Hydra. You guys fought Xanathar at the end. Like there was a lot of stuff that happened.
Somehow beaten him.
It's all in there. All that stuff's in there.
Yep.
Go watch that campaign. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Anyway,
It's on our YouTube.
welcome all the new viewers. We appreciate the watches. So you guys are heading back to Rockies /
The bar.
name a bar unknown.
Rocky's
Um,
the bar.
Critical poll.
No, that's gonna be the strip club next door.
All right,
The
right.
Goblin Strip Club.
So you guys are gonna have to go into Precinct 4, which is not far from
It's just
where
like
you are.
handrail.
You have to basically go through Precinct 5. You can go across 10th Street to get there.
Bacon
yeah.
grease.
We'll say the entire library thing took a couple of hours to be in there and look and read and kind of skim through the books. It'll probably take you, considering how close you are, maybe a half hour to get to Precinct 4. Yeah, you guys wander in through the streets, down through 10th Street. You make it over into the little bar, kind of not on the main strip, kind of out in nowhere. And you see the goblins there. They're
Yeah,
still hanging out.
The only 2 goblins that like hanging in front. Like, okay, guys. Have we thought of a name of this place yet? I want to say this to them without like Rocky here.
I thought we were gonna call it the Goblin Hut.
I like that.
The Goblin Hut? I love
Yeah.
that.
Don't
That's a
hear that.
Clash of Clans reference.
Yeah. It's not called that.
Never-
How about Goblin Haven?
I thought of one. It's the Gobland. For sure I said that last episode. too.
I mean, as long as script, it's okay with that. I'm just throwing out ideas.
Oh, big boy here. So as far as when he's around, it's called Rockies.
That's a dumb name.
That's We're just gonna cater to him while he's here.
I mean, maybe if we had
He
a
has
dog
part
named
ownership.
Rocky,
He
but
does have a small ownership in this place.
that's fair. Okay.
You guys
How
want to
about
make the
how about we
signs?
call it Rock with the Goblins? Or
Rockin' goblins.
Rockin' Goblins.
Rocking goblins.
Rocklin. I love that.
We're gonna have live music.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah, goblin
Okay.
band.
I can play a something.
I can,
We'll figure it
I
out.
can play a pan.
Yeah.
Like a pan flute? No, pan.
Just get a pen, and I've got here. You know what? I could play this, and I pull out the skin flute. Like I could play this for. Yeah, we.
What the hell is that thing?
It's a skin flute. What are you laughing about? It's a musical instrument that was given to me.
Yeah, I got a musical instrument in my pants too. I don't call it.
You report to the back when this is all over.
I'm out.
But that's
Report
pretty,
for
I know what
HR
you're talking
review.
about. That's pretty.
My butt makes noises. I don't call that an instrument either.
Damn it! Everybody makes fun of my flute.
Maybe you should give it a different name. Maybe the leather flute.
No, it's a skin flute. It's made out of skin.
Hey, whatever you want.
It's good thing it's not short and stubby. Y'all make fun of that too. It's girthy. Fuck it. Let's just go in the bar and drink.
All right, yeah, you guys go in.
Man.
Do you have to talk about them about the sign and the paint?
Yeah, we're getting it made. They're going to start on it with rock.
Okay.
Go ahead and get all started on the sign that we talked about.
Well, just get the supplies. I'll do the sign.
Okay.
No problem.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you guys want.
Yeah, like some paint and some brushes and some wood, maybe some nails, a Dremel.
Do you work for this guy? Nah, I thought we worked for
I
Chris.
got a plan. Just
Yeah,
get
you got
two
it.
Signs.
He's
Have him
pretty
make
big.
one, and
He
then
can
make
squash
the
it.
real one.
Yeah, he definitely can squash us.
So, yes, we're going to get the stuff and get the stuff together. Make sure it's a smaller sign so he can put his Rockies on it. And then we're going to make our sign for the front. Make it a little bit bigger, not much, just enough their doorway. I got a plan. I will take care of it from there.
This is so
You got it,
good.
boss.
So, yeah, they bring you all the supplies to make your sign.
All right. What do they?
You
bring
do
me?
whatever you need to, Rocky, because it's Rockies.
What did they bring me?
They bring you some paint. They bring you some pieces of wood, some nails, some like chains, like
Okay.
hanging hook chains, maybe for hanging up. They're not real big, but, or I should say, they're not real long.
How much wood do they bring?
I'd say a couple of nice sized boards, maybe 2 or 3, maybe 6 foot long boards, maybe like 2x4.
Okay. Y'all got a saw?
Yeah.
He runs in the back and he brings out it's like a tool bucket. It's just got like basic hammer, basic saw.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna start working on this. Y'all go inside and enjoy a drink with your King's Grizz.
Oh, cool. Night off. Great. Like it. All right, let's go.
As they walk in, but like, if that fucking sign gets hung up in front of my bar, you're all fired.
So many mixed signals. I love it.
You're getting paid? Yeah, I make money.
You guys are getting paid?
So,
How much are you making?
And he reaches his pocket, he pulls out a few coins.
This much.
you guys,
Like forever? I get this like every week, I think. I don't know.
I get a hold of what is it, squeegee or
Squeegee.
the one behind the bar and out the bar? It's like squeegee or dish rag or some shit.
Slapsy?
Slotsy.
His name was Slapsy, yes.
Slapsy squeegee.
So, what do you have to drink tonight, boys?
The special.
All right.
What you all decide what is the special today?
Do you want the special special or like what we serve the normal people?
I want the. Do I look normal to you?
Well, yeah, I mean, your friends kind of.
Yeah, they can have the normal shit. I want the good stuff.
All right, you got it.
He pours several different things into a big ass mug and then he spits in it.
Here you go.
You're not gonna stir it? I want that floating on top. I want it mixed in there.
He pulls into his pocket and he pulls at this. It looks like a dirty ass fork. He's like,
Here you go.
And that's what fucking service is.
With a smile.
Yes. And I take it and I clink mugs with Rocky.
he mixes all your
I'm
guys up,
outside.
but he does not spit.
Oh, that's right. He's outside. And I, yes.
Yeah, he pours a couple other ones, but he does not spit in those.
You gotta have the special salt. And I walk out there and I'm starting to watch Rocky just like I'm drinking my beer. Special. Yeah. Rocky, you want your drink?
I'm good. I'm hard at work here. I'd like to stay focused if that's all right.
Okay.
Come outside
When you're
with
done with that
friends.
sign, let me know, cause I can get the goblins up high enough to hang that.
I can reach higher than they can. No
No,
worries.
well, the doorway is special. I put a special magical thing so to hang them. You just come talk to me, and we'll take care of it.
I'll let you know what it looks like. I'll get you when it's done. Have fun, buddy.
Persuasion. I like to persuade him into coming back to me.
Do I get a counter roll? What am I rolling?
It would be a contested persuasion roll, I would assume, because you're trying to persuade him to leave you alone, and he's trying to persuade you to listen to him.
16.
6.
I got a 6 also, but I haven't.
Oh my god.
I got a plus
Bard.
2.
I would say that his argument is persuasive, but still ultimately you're not being influenced by a spell. You guys are friends and companions. It's kind of
Not
up to you to
yet.
decide how you interpret this.
I didn't pick up the charms.
Yeah, go have fun. I'll let you know. I don't want to put any more burden on you. I'm gonna hang the sign up. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna go back see the family. I'm gonna let them know sign's complete.
You want anything to eat or drink before you go, or you gonna say goodbye first?
Yeah, I want to say bye. The wife's cooking dinner. And,
Okay.
You know, could be. You know,
You get that sign
last
hung.
dinner. Yeah.
Get that sign hung.
All right.
All right.
All right. Back to work.
So, is there anything else that you all would like to accomplish before the evening? is
So
done?
when he leaves,
He's
on the
like,
back
I'm not done. Yes, I have things I want to do.
on the back side of that sign, it's gonna say "Rockin' Goblins" or "Rocklin' Goblins," and the goblins know as soon as they see Rocky to flip the sign back to the other side.
Button.
Oh, he's coming
That's
back.
the goblin's job. Is up there. He's up there. There's like a little hole in the top of the thing, and he's like, "Oh, shut! Here comes Rocky!" Like they know, and they take up there. You see somebody come through a little cubby hole. They flip the sign around.
Man, I'm
It
going
says
to remember
Rocky's.
this every fucking time you
love
guys come.
It says
back to
Rocky's
the
place when he comes in,
bar. Every
and it's going to say
time.
Rockland Goblins
I love
when he
it.
leaves, and he's not
But
around.
I am here for the shenanigans. That's fine.
Absolutely lovely.
So yes, if there is nothing else, assume that you all get your long rest. You go back to your family. You have all agreed to meet up in the morning in the Transguild Promenade in Precinct 1.
I cut the sign out of the wood,
Mhm.
painted it with all the paints, hung it up nice and easy over the door, nailed it in so it's kind of sticking out from the building a little bit with the wood.
Oh wait. Yes, I would like to see if I go bug hunting and maybe catch like
Crap.
basically the amount of bugs I would need for my giant
If you go to
insect
critical pole, you
do
can get
they
crabs.
require bugs to cast them?
Yeah, so it actually the spell is an enlarge.
What kind of
It's-
bugs and how many are you trying to find?
I would probably
Nice.
it says I could do what three spiders. So,
So
I'd
you just
probably
need regular
try-
sized
It'll be a piece
spiders?
of wood now that
3
gets
spiders.
smoked.
I would say that those would be easy to find.
and then maybe if possible,
Well, I
I don't
figured,
know
like,
how
I
common
cut all
scorpions
the
are.
wood
Maybe a
and
scorpion
formed the
too.
letters from the triangle.
Scorpions on the surface are not common. They are more common in the underground.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, I'll keep an eye out for one, but
and then.
Oh, you know what? I'll give you a
Amazing
percentage
sticks
roll.
off
How
the
about that?
building.
That seems about as fair as we can do it.
That's fair.
Low
And then I'll make them
percentage?
cut the wood
Yeah.
and have like a little rotating
And
piece.
I rolled
like,
a 7,
When you're
so
coming,
no.
they just
That's
like
fair enough.
rotates around.
Fair enough. So yeah, I'd like to see if I can catch some spiders and just poke a hole.
I would say
jar.
spiders, yeah. Probably that would be easier to find than other things.
Cool. I got some bugs in the jar.
Yeah.
Cool.
Why are you taking all the good ingredients to our food?
These are magic spell components.
Okay. So,
Also, food component.
you guys get your long rest. If you have not already leveled from the last fight you were in, please do that now.
Yeah.
You get all your spell slots back. All of your items are back.
Yay, spell slots.
All you guys are completely and fully healed. You are going into this competition fresh. You get up early to enjoy breakfast with your respective people that you were with. Slapsy works throughout the morning and gets you guys some nice. He's found some kind of eggs somewhere. You're not sure if they are some type of bird eggs, chicken eggs, rock eggs. You're not really sure, but they're good. He fries them up. He also seems to have found some non-moldy potatoes somewhere along the lines, and Rocky's family has a very traditional it's a very like bread heavy meal. Lots of muffins and like biscuits, and some of them have like a spice on the top, but mixed with like brown sugar, and so they have like a sweet spicy kind of crunch on the top.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Rose, you make those blueberry ones I like.
Absolutely.
Ah,
You know, I gotta take care of my man.
you're the best. All right, y'all.
I don't know what voice that is right now. I don't think I've ever actually spoke for Rose, so
I think you had you
maybe
did
one. I can't
earlier.
remember all the voices I have.
All right, I'll go round up children for breakfast here. You're the best.
Be careful.
I'm gonna do my best. I got my team with me. I support them. They all support me.
I'm not sure about that Elvin. He's a little weird.
Well, we all play our part. I think my part is to make sure his weird's on our side.
That's fair.
It can be a good weird if it's directed away from you,
Who are you talking to?
Rose, at my house. My
Oh.
wife.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm sorry. I got a little distracted there.
I think that I have. You just
you get
you've
Scripts followed you.
you've
I
just
want to see my
been
nieces and nephews.
you've just been gone so long, and I worry about you.
I know. Hopefully after this, it's gonna be a little bit of a different life. I want it to be. Want to be here for the youngins. You know, they got a lot of growing up to do. But they can't grow up in a Ravnica that is completely chaos with no
You're right.
structure.
You're right.
And if for some
You're just not a young bull anymore. And we need you to think about maybe retiring at some point.
well, I'm hoping after this I'm gonna get like a desk Boros job. You know, push some papers, maybe just train some troops up. Be more like a teacher.
I would sleep better at night. That's for sure.
I would love to not sleep on the road anymore. You know, they generally don't make sleeping bags our size.
I mean, the kids, they're growing and you're missing it. You know.
I know.
You're shitty dad.
Jesus.
I
Shitty dad.
understand what you're
Shitty
doing,
dad.
and I am proud of you.
Ouch.
I,
I think the tank one hurt more than the devil.
well, I
You
appreciate
take 3 points of psychic damage.
Yeah.
When the bard takes you out numerous
He's-
times.
Skriz
Not
casts
even close.
vicious mockery from however far away you are.
Yeah.
A nice-
The,
a
the
nice
goblins
big
forget to
death
turn the
job
sign
sounds-
back.
Sounds best.
Yeah, I'm hoping after this, there's not going to be much need for me to do what I'm doing anymore. We're going to be saved. We're going to be good.
I hope you're right.
And we're going to be
His
together.
dad walks from the back bedroom. You're not the man of the house anymore. Daddy!
Not like this.
Grandpa's our dad now.
You call me Grandpa Dad.
Granddaddy.
This is
Emphasis on the daddy.
Kentucky Navica.
Getting weird in here, guys.
That's really back here.
So you spend time with the
Where's
family.
Rabbit?
You spend time with the kids. The morning passes relatively quiet. You meet up in the Transguild Promenade. A little bit before 8, you find Elvin. He is there waiting. It doesn't even look like he slept, but honestly, as of late, it doesn't look like he sleeps
It
much
never
anyway.
looks like he sleeps.
You notice that whatever's happening to him, these spectral wings that he developed, they seem to only pop out during certain times. They're not a full-time aesthetical thing that's there all the time. Maybe under certain, but he's got like the holes now in the back where they sort of force themselves out. But right now he just looks like Elvin. You know that the transformation is taking a toll, and based off of just the observations that you've had, you know that he will not be able to contain the power within him forever. It will either destroy him or he will complete his mission.
Alvin? Alvin,
Yeah.
are you going to die?
Well, I mean, I already died.
I know a lot. I just wanted to ask you again.
This guy, he's a dick. But you're my best friend,
I was your husband for a little bit.
and I love you.
Oh, oh, God. That's like a bad taste of gravy right there in your mouth.
So we got like a competition to win, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to show up for this,
I always bring it.
do you?
Yeah.
Feels like you've been a little south of us lately. Just swinging away.
I never hit you guys.
No. Just a tiny little ball. Chasing a tiny little ball away from us. Like you're not around anymore. Have one little quest. You're just chasing it away.
I mean, I have things I'm trying to do. You have things you're trying to do. I made a promise, you know. I took on all this responsibility, and
It's like you're in debt to the cart master.
I'm in debt to Lila.
One day your debts will be paid.
I hope so.
And no more debts to be paid.
Unfortunately, the debt I have to collect is in blood.
When's enough blood enough?
Her specific instructions were to deal with my enemies, and then I had to deal with hers.
Here's her enemies.
You know, that's the funny thing. I don't know. But she said that we were gonna bring honor back to the Orzhov and make it like it was before. I don't know what it was like before. It's always been this way.
I can't wait to fight the Ghost
What
Council,
if,
guys.
what if you're her enemy?
I feel like she would have just killed me.
Oh, she's using you as a tool right now.
Clearly, but I'm also using her.
For now.
But now. It doesn't matter if my story goes on much past this, right? It's an ends to a mean, or means to an ends. I had my shot. This is, I consider, borrowed time. And I knew the stakes going into it. Succeed in my mission, or I no longer can cross over into that great beyond. Those were her words, not mine. And it seemed like a good deal. So I will help you as far as I can. But when it comes to the things that I have to do, I have to do them.
We've known that all along. It's all about you.
It's all about the task.
No, it's all about you.
Well, I don't know if that's accurate. I've always helped you guys.
If it helped you.
That's not true at all. We've done a lot of things together that didn't benefit me at all. You think I wanted to go down in that boat, down to the bottom of the ocean, and fight those weird frog things? I don't like boats. You think that I wanted to go into the nightclub there and look at all these secrets that Mr. Secret Pants McGee over here wouldn't tell us about?
Yes, you enjoyed the nightclub.
I mean, it was cool. Yeah, I mean, I've never been in one, but like that wasn't for me.
So are you ready?
Of course, I'm ready. And when it comes time, when we're ready to go take out Rocky's dad or deal with Rocky's dad, I'm gonna introduce him to Scoffbog, and that benefits me not at all. Cause well,
You think it don't benefit you.
I mean, me and Rocky ain't like best
But what
friends
if
like
she's
me
one
and
of-
you. But
What if he's one
we're
of the
good friends.
enemies?
Who?
Rocky.
Rocky's dad. Ivan the Terrible. I forgot his name.
Toros.
Yeah, Boros.
Toros.
Boros.
It's Rocky's enemy.
Yes.
You guys have helped me kill my enemies. I will help you kill yours.
But we haven't technically killed all your enemies.
We haven't technically killed all yours.
You don't have to be a dick.
I mean, isn't that Madame Madrid crazy lady still looking for you?
I ain't worried about her.
And don't you got like more than that enemies? You're looking for this Ichabod guy or something?
Yeah, that one burned a little bit.
I mean, you guys all have people in your past, and it's beneficial. You guys agreed to help me. I agree to help you. But I'm the only one here hanging with debt over my head. So I have to do the job. Or else. So I do apologize if it seems like these are all for selfish means. But I don't have a choice. But she told me to help my friends to help me. Because she said that I couldn't do it by myself. She's right. We never would have got this far individually.
I'm gonna have my head caved in by a goblin.
If anything, that little test within Grinko's little fun house proved that we are better together than by ourselves. I may have died there too.
Mayhaps.
So I do apologize if it seems that I am selfish. But I don't really have a choice. Would you like to shake hands and be over it now? We gotta work together on this, Grizz. We gotta be cohesive. This doesn't benefit me either. Running this maze, risking my life. I could be out looking for my debtors and those who I have to collect against. But this is something that you guys feel that you want to do, and I'm on board. I will help you do it.
I will shake his hand. When I shake his hand, I have the finger, and I put it like in the palm of his hand. You don't have to keep tabs on where I'm at.
That was me just trying to help you.
It was. Keep your finger.
Okay. And as you're shaking, you notice that you're actually shaking the multi-fingered pet thing that he has.
I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen. Oh man.
That and he's holding on to it, and I just do I notice it?
Not at first, but
No.
yes, you do notice it.
I take it and no. I'm like, okay. There'll be something in your future.
I hope so. I have one.
I'm talking about the little head.
But in the meantime, we got a competition to win.
Let's do it.
Sounds good. I think they're getting ready to maybe start. Yep. Looks like a bunch of important people that way.
So, as you are all sort of kind of watching the crowds gather, there's a big gathering of guildless and some guild members, basically surrounding this massive centered piece of the Transguild Promenade. The Transguild Promenade has what looks to be a very large symbol of all of the guilds' insignia, like made out in the brick. Even House Demir now, the little spider crab looking thing with the eyeballs. You notice something that you've never noticed before. As you've crossed the Transguild Promenade many times, you've been here now. This is the third or fourth time. The guild insignia, the symbol of all the guilds, it seems to radiate a like magic, a humming magic that you never noticed before. Maybe it's now your understanding of the ley lines, or you're just broadening sense of understanding of Ravnica itself. But it definitely radiates a flow of energy and mana and magic that you did not recognize or see before or feel before. Because you don't see it, you just feel it. You know that it's there. As the ceremony begins to begin, you see the guild leaders there, up on a makeshift stage, with Niv Mizzet seemingly being the head again. As he approaches up into the center of the stage, you see all the guild masters. You see Borborygmos, you see Zagana, you see the little bubble, the darkness bubble with the Obsidian and the Ghost Council there. You see Ariella, you see Lazav in his full hooded cloak, and now in the more daytime hours, where before it was kind of dark around him, there was a little awning. You see that his cloak is almost similar to displacement. It's not quite solid, but not quite ethereal. And he sort of moves with a almost ghost-like quality, where he seems to be in one place 1 second and then another, but you never actually seen the movement. You see Gerard from the Golgari, the Lich, out in the daylight. It seems as though the sun may actually be hurting his eyes as he seems to be squinting. He's still in the full bone armor and the bright white tattered cloak. You see the Dryad of the three-person Dryad wrapped around the tree trunk from the Selesnya Conclave. You see Lord Rakdos has appeared, and he seems as bored as ever, kind of sitting with his haunches up, kind of like perched, just with his hands like this, sort of tapping his two fingers together, just waiting for this to be over. All of the guild masters are there, everyone, even Asperia, the Sphinx. She looks the most regal out of all of them. In her gold armor and long flowing purple hair, whited out eyes, and her wings, she stretches them out for a bit and then furls them back in. She's both majestic and terrifying. Niv Mizzet approaches the stage, and a hush sort of falls upon the crowd. Members of Ravnica, members of the community, members of the guilds, welcome. Today begins the Illicit Maze Challenge for the future of Ravnica and the guilds. The competition, once started, must be completed within 7 days. If no one completes the challenge within 7 days, Azor's long forgotten spell known as the Supreme Verdict will eliminate all of the guilds from existence. And Ravnica will begin anew with those who have no affiliations. We hope that that does not happen, but the winner will also have the option to set off the supreme verdict, should they choose. There will be 11 affiliated guilds running, as we welcome the newest guild, the Paruns of Old. Ravnica has no foundation for this, so they have no guild hall to speak of. They are the newest members of the guild. And we hope to make them members of the Guild Pact once it's established. They seem to make claims that they wish the best for Ravnica as well. And he kind of points over in the direction of the Paruns of Old. You see the very familiar form of Sadek. Now, who you know is not the heir of Sadek, but actually the reincarnation of Sadek. You see his vampire bride, Lizica's sister.
There it is.
She seems to have a wicked grin on her face as her fangs are protruding. You look around to see for other members of the traitors to the guilds that you ran into before, but there is no sign of Tauros. There is no sign of some of the people you would think that would be there. You do see Madame Madri.
Do they have?
Where's she at?
She's with him.
With Rakdos?
Sadek.
Sadek. How far away are we from each other?
You are in like the backstage area. They have not quite called you out. They are in like the front stage area. So I would say she's.
Are they going to call the teams out?
Yes.
Do we notice the Paruns of Old have a insignia of sorts?
That too.
Yes. It looks like a set of fangs embedded around a pentagram with a set of eyes that are kind of in the middle of it.
So we're backstage right now.
Yep.
Y'all think they, since they're a new guild, they're gonna have their own challenge?
I don't know. It's possible.
So, I mean,
We've dealt with them before.
we can
yeah.
deal with them again.
kinda. I mean, we never really.
Well, we saw what they could do at the wedding.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing I
The
know
red wedding.
from what we've learned about Sadek is he's a psychic vampire. So if true, it would probably be another thing to deal with our heads.
Yeah. I just feel like, well,
It is a good idea to have something planned out ahead in case that is true.
yeah. I wonder like where their guild hall is, or like if it's over one of these mana flow pool things, or I mean, was it incorporated in the original maze itself, or I don't know. I think that's a question that we're gonna have to ask.
Madame Madri looks worse for wear. She looks ragged in comparison to the last time you saw her. She looks tired. She looks aged. She was a human. She's still a human, but she looks almost as if she's aged maybe 10 years.
How far away are they from us?
You are probably 75-ish feet away from them. As you're looking in the backstage area, you're seeing members of all the other guilds. There's a lot of people back here.
It's close enough for a fireball. I'm just kidding.
Madame Madri herself is wearing the traditional Rakdos type style. It's like a headpiece that looks like horns that come off of it. She's dressed in very almost like provocative style armor. So it shows like more of like a midriff. She's wearing like a long leather skirt that looks tattered with, it's black, but on the inside it's got like almost like a red velvety sort of material. It goes down way past her knees, but you notice that her midriff is hanging out. She does look to be in pretty good shape. She doesn't seem to be, even for her age, she looks like she still is working out and hitting the gym, you know. But she looks like an older woman. Not old. She looks like middle aged, maybe early 50s at most, but still the last time you saw her, she looked like she might have been in her early 40s, but she looks like she's aged almost a decade, as she has like a little bit more silver in her hair. Her eyes are like this glowing red with bits of yellow flecks through it. It almost looks like her eyes are on fire as the sun catches them in certain ways. And she has this just sadistic look on her face constantly. It's not really a smile. It's not really a grin. But it doesn't look welcoming. It doesn't look warm. And that's a very familiar face to you. You've seen it a lot.
So you say I'm about 70 feet out?
Yeah.
So she can see out in the crowd, right?
Absolutely.
We're behind stage.
Oh, we're behind the stage?
You're behind stage with all the other competitors.
Also, she's looking out towards, like, what, the people in the crowd?
Mhm.
Okay, never mind that.
Okay. So, some formalities. We will be announcing the guild runners, the champions of each of the guilds, who will be running the maze. And then there will be one final chime, and you will be off.
So remind me again where are we again?
You are in the Trans Guild Promenade.
And then where on the map is that? Just so I have a better
Trans
idea.
Guild Promenade is in Precinct 1. It is in the southeast corner of the map.
I see it on the map here. Okay. Cool. Huh. All
Okay.
right.
So, with that, Niv Mizzet says, we will begin in a, I suppose, alphabetical of the guild's names so that there is no bias or prejudice in that. Please welcome your champions. Wish them luck as they hold the keys to Ravnica's future. From the Azorius Senate, captain of the Azorius team, Lavinia of the 10th district, which you find odd because there are not 10 districts.
Only 5, isn't there?
You see what looks to be a one of the very familiar law mages within the Azorius Senate that you've seen many times. In fact, you've been arrested by them.
Yay.
She has like a blue, not quite a hood, but it's like a headpiece that covers her hair. She's dressed in full, almost like plate armor. She has a very commanding presence. She's carrying one of the lawmaker sticks that you've seen that looks kind of like a staff with like a halo wand around it that allows them to decree and cast magic. On her side is she's got a sword, and on the other side she has like the rolled up scroll that enables them to enforce laws or dictate laws in arresting people. You see other members from behind them with the Azorius Senate. They look like different types. They seem like they all hold different types of positions. They all look like they could be law mages, but it looks like they brought along maybe someone that could do some sort of healing, as you have not seen many of the medicinal people within them, but has more of a cleric's type look to them instead of a wizard. You see a couple soldiers with them that seem to be more military and less magic. And that's basically their group. Lavinia herself is a human female. She's probably in her late 20s to early 30s. She has a very I would say that it's a regal face. She looks almost like royalty of some type. But it's very plain. She doesn't wear any sort of like makeup or her face is just very plain but regal. Like, she looks queenly. She looks like she could be a politician. She comes out and she takes her bow with the staff and says nothing. Just her team and them assemble over by the large area of where all the guild symbols are represented, and their group stands on top of the Azorius Senate, the triangle with the circle around it representing the original guild halls that Azor designed. The crowds and everything clap. From the Boros Legion, we welcome captain of the Boros team, Tajik. No last names given, but you have heard of Tajik being a member of the Boros Legion. Tajik is one of the high-ranking generals within the Boros Legion. he has led many expeditions into dangerous territories. He's fought all types of manners of beasts. He's led fights and revolts against rebellions within the city. Tajik is a very dark-skinned human. He is probably in his late 30s. He's always at the top of his game. He's known for carrying a blade that has a sort of serpentine look to it. As far as the blade is very curved, it's not like a sickle or a scythe. It looks like a snake. It's gold with it has like hewn bits of magic, and he is known for imbuing that and striking things with both fire and lightning with that weapon.
So when the Boros comes out, I want to look at Rocky and be like, "You jealous?"
Well, I'm a little surprised they didn't ask me to be on the team. But,
You know why?
Because the sword.
Because you already got asked by the winning team.
That's true.
well, that too.
Tajik and his legionnaires.
Piss
There
on
definitely
that
is
dude.
a battle mage within them, and a field medic. Rocky would know what both of those are because he's been in the Boros Legion
You
for a
couldn't get
long
us a
time.
field method. We need that for Elvin.
Yeah, we should have recruited somebody else to help.
Get Wing out here.
From our most
What,
recent
too late?
revealed House Demir, please meet their champion, Mirko Vosk. And you see this very pale-skinned vampire, long draping hair. It looks kind of greasy and unkempt, not wearing a shirt. No, he does not sparkle in the sunlight. He just comes out. He sort of hovers across the ground, not quite flying, not quite walking. You notice that this is true with a lot of psychic vampires. And you definitely get the feel that this might be a psychic vampire, even though they are very uncommon.
You don't have the muscles that guy does.
No, I don't.
What? We got the short end of the stick on that guild.
Probably.
Mirko Voss sort of takes a strange bow, almost in a nonchalant, uncaring gesture. You're not really sure about the rest of his team. They all seem to be wearing the dark robes of the Demir. They seem to be keeping their appearances secret, and they could be anything from warriors to wizards, or you're not sure. You have no idea. They go take their spot on the Demir Signia.
So when this is all going, are they like walking right in front of all the other like?
They walk out onto the stage. The leader comes out, does their ceremonial bow or whatever.
What about
The
the
team-
other parts of the team members?
They're all kind of just standing next to each other. They all go and stand with them.
Okay, so they're on
The
stage,
spots for them to stand
and
are
all the
huge.
guild masters are up on stage also.
Yep.
Gotcha.
From the Golgari Swarm, please meet the Golgari champion, Varls, the Scar-Clad. And you see this massive troll come out. His skin is not the same shade of green as you've seen from Gruul trolls. This is an Undercity troll. It has a like almost like mossy type appearance to it, but you look and see that the name Scarvold is very literal, as this troll looks very muscular and has been in many, many battles. Many of the wounds did not seem to heal entirely properly the way that they were supposed to. And in the spots where you see that he has been wounded, where trolls regenerate, it looks like the skin around it has become harder, almost as if he is just maybe slightly different than trolls that you are used to. His skin looks almost like wood
Like he's building armor.
in parts, but it is definitely organic. You can tell that it is a part of him. It's not an add-on. He's got like this, not quite a mohawk, but his hair kind of stands straight up. It has grime and bits in it, but it's got like a red streak that goes through the middle of it. He's got the big tusks that come out, and you can't smell him, but you're sure he smells. Varros comes out and makes like a roar and beats on his chest, and you see that he's got a massive battle axe that he keeps in one hand. It looks magical in nature. It definitely does not look like your standard piece of equipment. From the Golgari, it's a couple of undead creatures that you are not familiar with. They're not really zombies, but they look like something more. They look almost more like constructs of bone and sinew, and something that you're pretty sure is a Golgari shaman. Other than that, you're not sure. So again, a weird team that they have chosen to be maze runners. They go and take their place on the spider-like logo of the Golgari. Nib, as it continues on, please welcome from the Gruul clans, the runner-up in last year's competition of Guildmaster of the Gruul clans, Rukthar. And you see this large, not quite as big as Borborygmos.
You would think there would not be a runner-up to the Gruul clan.
Typically, from what you know about the Gruul and the history bits that you have seen, when a challenge is faced, when someone challenges the present guild leader, it's to the death. That's why you're not sure why this guy is still alive. So that must mean he's kind of tough. He fought Borborygmos and did not die. That's what you think it means by runner. So you see this, at first it comes out, and from your vantage point, it looks like just one massive ogre, like bigger, taller than an ogre. But then it kind of turns and you look and it has two heads coming off of it, two ogre type heads.
He can wear two cloaks.
It's some type of ogre or
I
an
think you got that.
Etten hybrid, right? But this thing is massive. It's probably just under 10 feet tall. It's super muscular. It wears basically like a loincloth with some sort of animal fur that you don't recognize because there's many different beasts within the wilds of Ravnica. And where one of its hands used to be, it has a massive double-bladed axe on one of its hands that's like stitched in almost like a hook hand. You see that the two heads themselves, they both look ogre-like, but they seem to have control or separate. They almost look like two separate entities, as they are both sort of, they're talking, and then you see them kind of like talking to each other and then kind of yelling at each other. As far as the Gruul people that they have brought with them, the only thing that you're sure of is that one of them is what's known as a dragon speaker shaman. You've just heard the name. You don't really know what they do. From the Is It League, please meet your captain, Lizica.
As he walks up, I want to shoot pyrotechnics right behind him
Love it.
as he comes up.
Nice.
Is Thipplethip with us?
Yeah.
Cool. All
Yeah,
right.
Thibblethip kind of is like on Rocky's shoulder.
I love it.
He doesn't weigh a lot.
And
so-
as we walk by, I'm casting Mage Hand. But it's only going to pop up as we go by Madame Madrid, and it's going to be like... And I just want to look over and be like...
Madame Madrid notices you, and she gives you a look. But since her face never really seems to change much, you're not sure if she's angry, happy, laughing. You're not entirely sure.
I'll be like, I know you missed this face.
Okay. It's so intense.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Mage Hand just stays up as we walk by the whole time. By the whole, like, even her, the vampire, his sister's like...
You guys have a lot of people up on stage that you don't like.
Yeah. That's fair.
Like the Mage Hand goes, you're cool, fuck you. You're cool."
Just changing it.
Yeah, it's like, fuck you, you're cool, fuck you.
That just kind of follows us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Like, yeah.
That's people.
Yeah,
Lizica comes out, and the crowd sort of, they begin like murmuring a little bit as you guys soon follow suit, and they kind of, you hear whispers like, they're not all from the same guild. He looks like he's from House Demir. Why is this Boros guy here?
What's this Boros
Like
guy?
they seem very confused that you guys are the maze runners, but they calm down. And
There it
Nib
is.
is very intimidating, and he just goes right back into his spiel.
Yeah.
You guys go and stand on the Is It insignia.
He doesn't need the pendant to be intimidating.
From the Orzhov Syndicate, please meet the Orzhov champion,
Elvin.
Teysa Karlov.
That would have been so fucked up.
That is an elven thing, right? He's like, oh, hey, by the way, guys, I'm gonna be over here.
On the other
helping."
team. Screw you guys.
You
Yes,
see,
I'm doing fine.
you see Teysa come out, and you recognize the last name Karlov as one of the Ghost Council is known as. Their last name is Karlov. Teysa herself is what's known as a law mage within the Orzhov Syndicate. She is some sort of a cleric, also one who is able to communicate and or exercise spirits, from what you know about them.
What was that called again?
Teysa Karlov.
But her you said
Law
she-
mage.
Law mage.
Law mage.
She is definitely known for being able to, one, communicate with spirits, two, enslave spirits, and three, free spirits. She comes out with like a very fancy, almost style bun on the top of her head. She's wearing like a white gown with flecks of gold adornments and jewelry pieces. She has a very more serious look on her face, but she actually does have, with her dark black hair, she looks young. She looks like she's probably maybe 30, maybe. She has like a very almost like striking beauty to her. She knows that she's a very pretty person, and she uses that to intimidate people. You can tell that she just has this like presence, that she feels that she's better than everyone else. Not from just by the way that she looks, but she knows she exudes a sense of she's powerful. From the cult of Rakdos,
What did she have anyone with her?
all of the people that come with her, they look like they're dressed like Elvin was when you guys met him, just very basic clothes. Some of them look like what you would think would be known as enforcers. You know that she herself is some type of cleric. It looked like she mostly brought thugs with her. And there is one ghost among them.
Spooky.
You almost don't see the ghost at first because of the daylight. From the cult of Rakdos, please welcome the Rakdos captain, Exava. This person comes out and it looks like a much younger but very similarly dressed to Madame Madri. This is a blood witch from the cult of Rakdos. Her facial expressions seem to be a little bit more controlled. She seems to have almost like this weird nervous twitch though. Every now and then, like her face will go from like being completely serious to like it comes up into like a half smile, and you almost feel like you can hear this like weird little giggle come out of her, but you're not quite sure. Her headpiece is very much the same, like that big, large, antler-looking thing with the horns. She looks like she came right out of like an Iron Maiden cover. She has these chains and things wrapped around her. On her team, you see an ogre wearing some type of almost like dominatrix-looking mask, but it's made out of metal. It's got these big spikes that they look like they were actually drove into their shoulders. They're not natural, and they come out up above their heads. They remind you of the ogres that you saw at the nightclub when you guys tried to get in the daytime, but they had like the bouncers there. They have chains around them. They definitely are some type of ogres, though. There's a couple of those with her, and what looks to be just normal street performers that you've seen before that are pretty good at doing forms of magic. But she herself, I would say that Skriznet, being an ex-member of the cult of Rakdos, recognizes the name Exava, as she is the highest ranking blood witch and what's known as the Coven Mother of all blood witches.
Ooh.
That sounds fun.
From the Selesnya Conclave, please welcome the Selesnya champion, Imara Tandris. And the entire tone sort of changes as this high elf, long, flowing blonde hair, wearing a very almost simple but kind of sparkly, sequiny type of dress. She has a very calming presence about her. You're not sure her age because you're not familiar with elf ages, but I'll tell you that she's over 100 years old. She seems to walk with a quite a bit of knowledge and power. You don't know a lot about the Selesnya, but she gives off the impression of being some type of a wizard. As you see that she has like on her side, it looks maybe like a wand or a spell component or like an arcane focus of some type. Um, she doesn't say much or even really look much at the crowd, but she kind of nods in a calm manner. You see you see one wolf rider with her who is actually mounted on their wolf. You know that these are armored archers from the Selesnya. You see something that looks to be like a tree folk of some kind, but it's not a very large tree folk. It's almost like a tree folk shrub. It's maybe 7 or 8 feet tall. It carries itself about with these vines and bark and branches, bits of rock actually in the feet. But you can't make out any discernible type of face on the tree. It just seems to walk. And then there are a couple of other just basic elven type warriors. They look like they're lightly armored. Bits of it are metal. Most of it's leather. They seem to carry swords. From the Simic Combine, please welcome the champion, Boral of the Hallclad. At first, you're not really quite sure what to make of this particular guy. He looks like an elf. He has like orangish red hair, not quite fire red, but not quite bright orange either. It's sort of long and drawn back. He looks like an elf, though. He doesn't. You're looking around for like maybe the modifications since he's from the Simic Combine. You don't really notice him right away. But then as he walks past and he comes towards his little area, you see the gills in his neck, and around the tops of his knees, you see what looks to be fish scales. You know that when merfolk come out from the waters, they have the same sort of fish scales on their legs. This is definitely some sort of elf merfolk hybrid. You're not sure if he has any other types of modifications, but he was a merfolk that they have genetically modified with an elf for some reason, or the other way around. He carries a large trident similar to Zagana's, but it's made from a like mossy green type metal material. The members around him are just various different members of the Simic Combine. You're not sure what they do. You're not sure what their ranks are. There is a Vidalcan with them, a couple of other humans, and you think it could be a goblin or was a goblin at one point. It just seems to be this very small, almost like fish-looking creature. They all take their place on their respected symbols, and now you see that all 10 guilds have people standing on their areas. The newest members of, hopefully, the future of Ravnica, the Paruns of Old. And you see Madame Madri take charge. She leads down other members you've never seen before, but they look like they come from various different guilds. You don't recognize anybody else. You don't see Ichabod. You don't see Taros. You don't see any of the Belheims. You see none of the other people, just Madame Madri. You know that she's powerful. You know that she is a blood witch, much like Ixava, but even Ixava was above her. But, like I said, something seems very different about her now. She almost looks as though she's aged in the few weeks since the massive explosion in the town square. You're not really sure anything about the other types of people that are with her, but you do see some of them look to be like they're from House Demir, and some of them definitely look like they come from the Gruul clans, as they look to be maybe ogres, but you're not sure.
Can we see how Rakdos himself takes this?
Rakdos seems interested when her name is called out and she approaches. He almost seems angry, not hostile, just
With the
like
betrayal?
contempt. Yeah, you see him kind of snort a little bit, like, and that's about all the reaction. You've never really seen him react in any way. fact, this is maybe only the second time you've ever even seen Lord.
And it's not like he was going to get the same reaction to somebody like me who was a low standing.
He didn't even know who you were. No offense, but he had lots of members in the guild. But even when you were in, like, your ultimate goal was you wanted to gain his praise.
Yeah.
Like Lord Rakdos coming up to you and going, "That was great." That's what everyone wants. Or him just coming up and going, "That was great," and then he kills you. That's the ultimate way to die.
I love you, son.
These are your guild champions. There will be 10 challenges, as the Paruns of old have no guild hall. They have no ley line, and were not taken into consideration. But as this is a new day and the future of Ravnica, we are allowing them, as they are members of Ravnica, to participate. They are citizens here. There has been a lot of animosity, confusion, bloodshed, and violence. They feel as though they were underrepresented, as they had different ideologies of the guilds. We hope that, win or lose, they will become peaceful members of society, as we recognize that they exist.
Can we tell how confident Niv says saying these things about them?
Make a insight check.
My insight's +0, so they'll probably won't go over too well. We'll see. 15.
Niv's hard to read.
I figured so.
Yeah, you kind of sense a little bit of contempt in his voice, like
Yeah.
he doesn't really quite believe what he's saying, but he's hopeful.
He's saying just to hold the peace for
Yeah.
So, these are your champions. You may attempt the challenges in any order that you want. Once you are competitors within, you can do anything that you want to other competitors. Be aware, some of these challenges will test the mind, they will just test the body, and they could prove quite deadly. We don't expect all of you to survive.
Yay! Oh, wait.
Be aware of your surroundings and other competitors. Also be aware of those who are not competitors being caught in the middle. There are no other rules other than there are no other rules. Anything goes. As long as you are a competitor against another competitor. So while it is much a challenge of the challenges, you are challenged by the challengers. Are there any questions or misunderstandings from the competitors? It's kind of a weird little hush goes over the crowd. Then I wish you all good luck. You will find in your possession, and he sort of waves his hand, an amulet. And you notice these little amulets sort of like appear around the captain's necks. This amulet has the ability to draw from the mana ley lines within each guild hall. If you complete the challenge, you will be granted access to the middle of the guild hall per the rules of the competition, and you may draw mana from the ley line. Collect all 10 mana from all the ley lines, you win. It is an all or nothing. Collecting 9 won't do it. Collecting 8 won't do it.
What if two people collect 10 at the same time? Two different groups.
In the highly unlikely circumstance that that happens, we're not sure.
All right.
At that point, it would be whoever would bring all 10 back to the middle first. The middle being here, on this very area where you are starting. It is called a maze because of the challenges that lie within it. Mazes challenge the perception. Good luck. And then you hear like this gong sort of sound go off. And the crowds all start to cheer, and immediately the competitors start attacking each other with bits of magic, and then chaos ensues.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Let's go backstage. Let's go.
You see magic spells start flinging, and some of the you're not sure because there's just chaos. Some of the competitors, they run off in one direction, and they all start kind of going their own ways as they're kind of flinging spells and magic and shooting arrows and stuff at each other. And with that, that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Love it.
So next week we will be starting the actual competition. I listened to all your guys' little ideas. Some of them are pretty good.
Yay, mimics.
I will
Wait.
tell you that I won't tell you how many, but on some of them you guys were pretty close. Some of them you were really far off.
Fair enough.
And
I
some of
figured
them you
so.
were dead on, but I won't tell you which ones they
Really?
were.
Wow, look at us.
So
Some close, some
you,
dead
you,
on.
you only had a few that were not even close, but I would say most of them were either close or like dead on.
All right.
I won't tell you which
Happy
ones.
baby.
I want you guys to enjoy
I
it.
feel like we're pretty far from where's
I want you guys to maybe think
I don't
about
think
it.
it's gonna
Maybe
be a-
talk through Discord this week. Figure out where you guys might want to start. I'm going to basically be giving you a map, like an actual laminate map of Ravnica, and you guys, I will point out where all the guild halls are, and you guys can kind of make your ways whichever ones you want.
Yep.
So, with that, we hope you will all join us next week. Thanks for all the new views and the regular views and the comments and stuff that was in. We didn't get to all of them because I can't see the screen from where I'm at, and we will hope to see you next week. So, thanks again.
Woo! Yeah. Deuces.